Trader Roundup, it's your boy Kid. How's it going, everybody? Trader Roundup in the market. We're hanging out with you, call-in show of traders. Um, it's kind of off schedule, off beat, but I really just wanted to kick it and vibe with you guys. I mean, price is going exactly where I had kind of outlined it earlier in the live stream, so it's kind of also a nice time to kind of actually see price fulfill that objective. So I thought it was kind of cool to come to social media to hang out with you guys to get more of your thoughts, 2 cents on life, on the market, on where we're at, where we're going. I mean, looks like we're pretty darn bullish. That's what it looks like to me. So I like seeing what we had happen there. We got Batman here. Got my boy Nikki D, the Giza. But if you guys want to come hang out, say hi. We are calling show. I really want to hear from you. Um, if you're having issues, things with the mentorship, how are things within the market? Did you watch my live stream? Did you see me outline this high that we're taking now as an anticipated occurrence? Anyway, Batman, you're here. What's up, buddy? Batman, you there, buddy? Rick T, let me get Rick T up here. Real Marcel FX, Cap the Great, Nikki Day. Real Marcel, how are you, my friend? I think people are having issues connecting, if you want to know the truth. Batman, having issues connecting as well. You guys can hear me, though, right? Yeah? Thumbs up. Rick T, JJ, Gavin. All right, we got thumbs up. Y'all can hear goodness, good. So, Real Marco, what's going on, buddy?
Cyril Marcel.
Yeah, that's what I said, dude.
Okay. Good evening.
Good evening.
Okay. Good evening. Nothing much is going on. I saw the price action for yesterday and today. Today was really choppy, and I anticipated the buy, but the price was not just giving me the conditions to buy, and
Okay.
I took some loss. I took some losses, so I'm okay with it. I did not take full stop loss when I saw that the market wasn't going my way, so I just licked my wound and drop it off there. So that's just it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, getting chopped up, taking L's, it's not hard. I definitely understand that. Getting on the right side of the market, actually kind of finding where the draw is going, that's kind of the only, benefactor if you are engaging in the market, if you do get on the right side inevitably, right? So
Ye-
yeah, I mean we're taking out these highs, and this is exactly what I wanted to see have happen, which is pretty wild from the live stream. So, um, Batman, you there, bud? L, you there?
Yes, sir. I am.
How's it going? How's it going, bud?
Yeah, I'm good. And I've tried to like come on here multiple times and just had some few difficulties with connections and
Dude, X is undefeated. That's all I can tell you. It is an
yeah,
undefeated
yeah,
location.
last time I came on here, it was about like what 12. I just like couldn't wait anymore and just like had to head out. But now I'm
Okay.
here. I'm here and I'm excited. I can't lie. I'm excited.
Good, buddy. Good. I'm excited for you.
Yeah.
Excited for you. We got some pretty wild and crazy bullish pricing, don't we?
Um, Perfectly like anticipated, and I think I'm going to say something on here to help like the community. Just this one.
Uh huh.
So
Yeah.
every time we have something to this effect of Jackson Hole Symposium and FOMC and the president speaking, it's best you try to sucker punch everyone who's thinking the opposite. You know, because I went long since Monday, and I've been holding that position since Monday. So yeah, good morning.
Good for you.
Yeah, and I just wanted to like ask a couple of questions and get things out
Sure.
of because I feel like my greatest hurdle is my psychology
Okay.
because because I've been on ICT like since 3 years now, and
Right.
I started with the 2022 model, 2022 mentorship in 2023 actually. So I didn't want to like just do multiple things at the same time because I've learned in my life, especially with studying medicine and yeah, going to med school, it's best to try and make things that are bulky simple because that's the only way you can cut through it. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, bro. I got you.
Yeah. So after the 2022 mentorship, I did the 2023 because I felt like there have to be more here.
Yeah,
Then
but
I
you
went
didn't
to
do core content. We already had this conversation last time, bro.
after the 2022, I ditched that and went to the core content.
Okay.
So I did the core content for about like 2 years before the 2024 mentorship came out.
Oh, so you're a pro at core content, huh?
Yeah, yeah, and I just the core
Really?
content. Yeah, it made me realize who I am as a trader. I'm not
Okay.
I'm not I'm not a day trader. I'm just I just can't I don't want to do it. I just can't do it. I'm more of the guy that likes to predict the weekly range. So the one shot one kill sat with me very nicely. Very nicely.
You like month six. You're a month
I,
six
I,
kind of guy.
I
You're
love
a
it.
swing trade kind of guy. Can I tell you
Yeah, I
this?
love
Can I tell you this, bro? The swing trade models are the easiest, man. In my opinion, if you just take the end dog and you measure the downside or the upside of where you're at on the NWOG, I should say, and then your collection of N dogs in relationship to your NWOG, you can really measure what ends up being the wick, the slingshot of your strong bullish
I can't
distribution
believe
like we got
you
today
know
or
your
like we
stuff.
got this week.
You know your stuff. I can't lie. You know your stuff. And that I don't think people really realize that you can use those opening gaps and for projections, especially like the new day and the new week opening gap.
Well, yeah, when you, as I mean, Michael has taught, when you can learn how to trade out of wicks on these charts, you can create an edge. You can find magic working for yourself that no one can take from you.
Exactly, exactly. And I just wanted to like put some things out today in terms of psychology, and I feel like you will be like one of the perfect people to help me. You know,
Okay.
you know, I just it's like I'm having two different lives, right? Right? When I'm trading and it's not my money, I usually make money, and I
Okay.
can't wrap my head around
It's
that.
your relationship with money. Everything you're getting ready to say, it's your relationship with money.
No, because this month I've taken I've taken 4 trades, 3 wins, like for like 3 weeks. We're winning trades for the 3 weeks, and last week I know I got a loss. I made
Uh-huh.
price wrong. Yeah, but how do I make 1,500 on paper and blow a funded account? Like it doesn't make any sense because it's like every single time. I pass the challenges, I just can't get a payout higher than what $292. I just can't get the payout. So I don't really know if it's a
Well,
money.
here's the thing: how you're talking to yourself is a thing, right? Like,
Yeah,
just listen to what you're saying.
yeah,
Listen to what you are saying, what you are
yeah.
putting out there. Just in the short period of time talking here of what you're stating, what you can't do. You're making that very clear. What you can't do, you are
Hmm.
right.
Yeah,
So you got to acknowledge that as a problem in and of itself, right? You're cursing yourself.
yeah.
So if you want to make things more difficult for yourself, continue telling yourself that you can't do it. Because guess what? You're right. If you tell yourself you can do it, guess what? You're right. But if you want to sit here and tell yourself why you can't do something and how hard it is to do something, guess what? You're right. So you want to sit here and cry why you can't do it. You're making that very clear. You can't. You can't do it. You can't do it. And it's because of the way you talk to yourself. So acknowledge that first and foremost. The way you're talking to yourself is why you can't do it.
And I think it's deep rooted. So
It is deep. That is a deep statement that we are making, right? You're coming up here and you're stating, and it's good that you can't do something, but in reality you can. So there's a way in which you live your life, in which you're living your life as you can do something, or you're living your life as you can't do something. Is that fair to say? You there, bud?
Oh, excuse me.
Hold up. Hold up.
Oh, sorry.
Did we lose him? We're in a conversation here. Hold up. Call me Stormzy. Where'd you go, bud? Okay. Well, I don't know if there's anything else there. If he comes back, we'll continue. Hey, L, you're there. I see your microphone. What's up, dude? Oh, maybe X is undefeated here. We'll try and get you back up here. Let's see if we can't get our boy back up here. He was just here. 1 second. Let's give him a second. I mean, X is undefeated. He didn't try and fall off like that. He was in the middle of a combo. Hey, what's up, bro? You back? Dude, it's all good. X is undefeated. Go ahead. Pick up your thought and keep going. Pretty please.
yeah, I just feel like most of my life is like the same thing, and even right now, I'm like this is one of like the hardest years of my life, like one of the hardest years of my life, and it's like I
How,
know
how
I
do you
have
how do you
potential.
turn it how do you turn it around, bro? Because you're making good points.
I know I have potential. Like all my life, it's like having it's like a man sitting in a yard and there's oil underneath, and he knows like there's oil here, but he just doesn't know how to get it out.
So so
I don't know
so
if that
are you a
makes sense.
thing with affirmations? Are affirmations important to you?
I've never. That's the thing. I've never really tried it. I
Okay.
don't know. I just grew up different, where it's like I never really got like the kind of love that would require me to be like, okay, yes, I am good enough, you know. And
Okay. Okay. I
yeah,
respect that. I respect that.
yeah. So growing up, I had to like get that elsewhere, not from my parents. It's elsewhere. It's like, bro, why don't you just believe in yourself, man? Like, why don't you just do your own thing? Like, I know you can do it. But bro, like, I don't even know if I can. And it's like I'm doing the things that they're telling me that I'm good at. Why not even like knowing that I'm doing it? Does that even make sense? It's like, oh, now you're trying, you're not even getting it right. But when you're relaxed and it's just like muscle memory, that kind of a thing. I don't know if that makes sense.
So, can we do an affirmation together, me and you?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Okay. I'm gonna hit undo, and then I'm gonna hit repost. Okay, will you do me a favor and go to my timeline? I just reposted something. This was from I think 2023 actually.
Okay,
I just hit repost just right now, okay?
okay,
So it's called a trader's daily affirmation. It's by Dr.
okay.
Wayne Dyer. We're gonna read it, me and you. All
Yeah,
right?
for sure. Yeah.
All right, so here we go. I know that
Are we
I'm
doing on the
here.
count?
What's that?
Oh, are we doing on the count of three
We
or
can just
just?
start. Just go. Uh, I know that I'm pure spirit, that I always have been, and that I always
Okay.
will be. There is inside me a place of confidence and quietness
Confidence
and security,
and security,
where all things
where
are
all
known.
things known
Here,
and
how about
understood.
this, buddy? How about this? You're gonna say it to yourself, and I'm gonna say it out loud for the audience. Is that okay?
Okay,
So
okay.
I'm gonna read it.
Because
I'm
it's
gonna read it for the
a live,
space, and you're gonna read it for yourself, and then we're gonna come together afterwards. All right? Because this affirmation, it's not something you just read once. This is something you do a lot. All right? You can listen to this, and we're gonna go over why at the end. Okay? But what I mean, we can go over it right now. When you talk about affirmations, when you talk about ways in which you can kind of reprogram yourself, we don't realize how negative we are and how often we curse ourselves when we say that we can't do things and how we make things more difficult than they need to be. So when you make it a point of doing the opposite of instead of cursing yourself, affirming what you are capable of doing, what your power and potential can be, then you release and you let go of these constant curses that you put upon yourself when you say you can't do something, that it's too hard, that you want to give up, and that you can't do it, right? So when you tell yourself those things, you have to be able to counter that. And how you counter that is through affirmations. So I know that I'm pure spirit, that I always have been, and that I always will be. There is inside me a place of confidence and quietness and security where all things are known and understood. This is the universal mind, God, of which I am a part and which responds to me as I ask of it. This universal mind knows the answer to all of my problems, and even now the answers are speeding their way to me. I needn't struggle for them. I needn't worry to strive for them. When the time comes, the answers will be there. I give my problems to the great mind of God. I let go of them, confident that the correct answers will return to me when they are needed. Through the law of attraction, everything in life that I need for my work and fulfillment will come to me. It is not necessary that I strain about this, only believe, for in the strength of my belief, my faith will make it so. I see the hand of divine intelligence all about me in the flower, in the tree, in the brook, in the meadow. I know that the intelligence that created all these things is in me and around me, and that I can call upon it in my slightest need. I know the body is a manifestation of pure spirit, and that spirit is perfect, therefore, my body is perfect also. I enjoy life, for each day brings a constant demonstration of the power and wonder of the universe and myself. I am confident, I am serene, I am sure. No matter what obstacle or undesirable circumstance crosses my path, I refuse to accept it, for it is nothing but an illusion. There can be no obstacle or desirable circumstance to the mind of God, which is in me, around me, and serves me now.
Wow, that was really powerful. Kind of lie. And, I think I'm going to bookmark this, and I'm going to like wait to myself every day that yeah that I try to do anything, not just even trading, like anything. I'm going to like bookmark this.
So here's the thing, bro. You want to like memorize this, all right? And here's the other thing. You want to listen to it. And you can actually go to the author of it. His name is Dr. Wayne Dyer. You can listen to him speak it over binaural beats. And you can do that for like a 3 hour clip. You can fall asleep listening to this. And it's a way of kind of reprogramming all of the negative speech that we have on ourselves. We have a lot. Like we talk really, really bad to ourselves. And sometimes you don't even think about it, but when you come here, you don't realize even within the conversation of what you're bringing up and just the forethought and the foresight of just what you're bringing to the table. You bring with that an energy, right?
Kit, may I?
Yeah,
Please,
yeah.
please, please do.
I have some. I have something to ask. Like to add on to this conversation. Do you believe in like we live off frequencies and like we vibrate energy and that like you are saying we bring in positive energy
Oh,
that
very much so. Very much. I
right?
mean, love, happiness. Those are high frequencies, right? There's high frequency energy, and then there's low frequency energy. And our spirit, conversely, versus our ego, those are things that are either empowering higher vibration and higher frequency versus things that would empower lower vibration or lower frequency. So when you think of your ego, you think of yourself, you think of sex, you think of bodily things, you think of dopamine, you think of all of these corporal delights. That's your ego versus your high vibration, your frequency, your spirit. That's where love is. That's where truth is. That's where light is. That's where collective consciousness comes together. That's where intelligence lives, right? So you have this converse kind of nature or duality just within the simulation of the world that we live in, right? That we have a high vibratory sense as well as a low vibratory sense. That's where and what we live in, mate.
True. Absolutely true. And and sometimes you don't even get to like experience most of that.
Kit, I have a question. Say like for those who are struggling with like environments that are like people that are pretty negative, right? And you're still a pretty upbeat, positive person. How do you deal with that? And how do you not make the other person also aggravated or mad?
That's such a great question. Like, you want to be constructive, right? Like, it's
Hmm.
really important that you're creating and you're constructing positive energy, right? There's a real thing when you're delicate, when you're the interactions with other people, where you can see there's this constructive versus a destructive kind of vibe, right? And some people can just come in and they can piss in your Fruit Loops. They could just not be part of what you're trying to do, and they could really kind of put a destructive kind of energy or frequency on what you're trying to build, right? And you're like, well,
Yeah.
how do I deal with that? And all you can do is control yourself, and all you can do is focus on constructive behavior. So, and being part of constructive behavior, you're binarily thinking in your own head. You're either part of the problem or part of the solution. What are you? Are you part of the problem, part of the solution? What am I doing? What am I doing? Is it either am I benefiting or deterring what needs to happen? Because the more you can binarily put these inputs within how you think, then you could flip these circumstances, because these are not easy things to deal with. What you're saying is very difficult to, and a challenge to deal with. So unless someone's actually gone through the experience of having this hindrance of you wanting to do something in this hindering energy of someone that doesn't, right?
Yeah. Especially for younger people, like with just for examples, like parents putting negative stress. That's just an example.
Well, the one thing, okay, I'll say with parents, a good thing to do is really not make what you're doing about the money and make it about the academics. The less you make it about the money and the more you focus on trying to learn about the algorithmic environment, and you become passionate about the environment and the signatures therein within the marketplace that really keep you thriving and coming back, right? Is like you see signatures, like you see things in the charts that other people don't see. And like your parents won't understand that, but if you can help them understand that from an academic point of view, and if you can continually focus on making it about the skill set and not about the money, then the strength of that skill set will supersede any damage that you could go through irresponsibly doing it.
Exactly. It reinforces.
So if you reinforce the positive aspects of what you're trying to do, again, as an academic, doing it slowly, focusing on demo. You're not in demo for a little bit, you're in demo for a lot of bits, son,
Hmm.
because you're already in an environment where it's not conducive for you. So guess what? You got to work extra hard at doing it correctly. And doing it correctly means there's zero implications of cash, bro. You're focused on your skill set, nothing else. And that is, how do you read price? And that is exactly what you were substantiating to your parents that you're passionate about. Has nothing to do with making money. You feel me?
Yeah, I definitely agree. You should focus on like learning instead of seeking.
And here's the thing, like if you really want your parents to understand what you're doing, have them sit down through a lecture.
Yeah.
Have them really understand what you're trying to conceptualize. It's calculus, okay?
Hmm.
They're going to walk in there and be like, what? Because they aren't going to understand a word of it, because it's very complex information that you need to
Yeah.
assimilate and absorb and then process and then replicate to then make your own, right? There's just a lot going on, and it's not built to be easy. So your parents understanding this idea that you're passionate about algorithmic environments, you're not gambling, you believe this is a strong opportunity for you sometime in the future as maybe some type of part-time gig, some type of online opportunity, some way of supplementing some type of income. If you can just pay a single bill, then your ends are being met, right? You're doing what the assignment is, right?
Yeah.
So if you could come in again as a student who's in demo, who's rigorously focused on being in lab, who's focusing on taking online classes, who's able to show and justify the work that you're doing, not in financial gain, but your passion, bro. I don't
Hmm.
think your parents are going to fault you for having a passion, right? You just need to make sure that you can clearly articulate this isn't a gambling thing. This is about you being passionate about the signatures within the algorithmic markets that you can see that other people can't. The whole thing is you can see it, other people can't. That's why you love it.
Exactly.
Like 100 people are going to look at the charts and you're going to be like, oh my God, did you see this, and this? Without anything, just looking at it. And then your parents are going to look at it like, and then they're going to see maybe the exact opposite. It's like, oh, wow, look at the squiggly lines. They don't see anything. So it's that difference, but being able to communicate that, right? Like, this doesn't mean anything to you, but you don't understand what this means to me.
Exactly. It's different perspectives.
And but them, you being able to acknowledge that they don't understand yours, but then you also encouraging them to try to better understand yours, right?
Yeah, and that can help the problem.
So being able to communicate clearly, again, you're passionate about something. You
Yeah.
see something that they don't see, right? Think of an artist on a canvas. Think of a musician. What do they have? Everyone's staring at the same piece of paper. They're staring at the same canvas, but yet somehow what comes out of them is different. That's what the chart is. That's what technical science is. And the difference is it's not art, it's not music. It ends up being dollars and cents. That's the beauty of it. But it doesn't have to be that in the beginning because you're developing the skill. It can't be about how much money you make, it's about you becoming the musician. And that's what it is. That's what trading is. the art and science coming together, and you being able to put that with experience and understanding into a way in which you're playing something. You're playing music. You're performing. You're doing something with all of it. Because that's what and here's the thing, I say fumble, we all fumble, trust me. I mean, someone was like, Kit, you got the balls of fucking steel buying at 147 yesterday, holy shit. And it was funny because I was like, well, I had a strong conviction that we were going up, but I mean, it was very easy to fumble at that price because of the up and the down and the up and the down and the way in which price was inducing, right, buyers and sellers, and whether you were going to get stopped out or not, right? Anyway, bro, do you think you got a way of going back to your parents now?
Yeah, I think everything you said is very well said, and now like are gonna help them sit down and reevaluate and maybe help them like set a different perspective.
If you help, here's the thing, bro. They love you. So
Hmm.
they want to understand you. So you being able to sit them down and be like, yo, this is just a part of me, right? This
Yeah,
is part of what I am. And it's not any preconceived notion that you have of, other people. This is just something in me. And reading price and seeing things and learning ICT, literally, I'd say it's learning ICT. It is something that it awakens in you, right? It's like deeper, at least within our community and the folks I speak to. I feel like that's a common theme. So, yeah, good combo. 130 on a Thursday in the market. Wow. I mean, the live stream, we pretty much called price to the tick, didn't we? Pretty sure that blue box, it was to scale, wasn't it? That motherfucker was to the right height and to the right time. Whew. My shit's to scale, boy. Go back and watch that live stream. Wow. That looks lovely, mate. Lovely indeed. I think we end up going higher for the record. I don't think we're done. I mean, I can foresee the weekly candle as high as in the 800s. That's just based off of the gap, though. I don't know. I don't really know anything, but the gap to me is energy, and the energy is like magnetism, and the magnetism is going to create um, magnitude and then a velocity in relationship to price. So that's what we saw today. That's what I outlined. I mean, we retraced into each one of those levels and bounced out of them bullishly through the energy of the gap. Anyway, that was a live stream bringing that into Trader Roundup in the market. 131. I like the time. Rick T.
I added something in like the comments. It's something from SoundCloud. It's posted by somebody. It's just sharing like a 7 minute motivational speech by ICT. I like just there's one thing I like to bring upon. It's like he's talking about liquidity and how it's similar to when you go to a grocery store and people put like how people take stuff off the shelves and then they'll put it randomly anywhere and they just won't care about it, forget about it.
Yeah.
So like he's making I think it would be a metaphor like about how like liquidity is like in the market is like the market makers they take liquidity but they don't have to run it to buy side say if sell side's taken. So just like how people shop for stuff and then they don't always take what they want and then they put it back. But I added it to the comments in here. It's just it's something I really like to listen to sometimes when I'm in the gym.
I love it. And you're saying that's an ICT motivation like clip?
Yeah, it's 7 minutes and nine
I
seconds.
love those.
And because he says it. I don't know, but I believe ICT does have a SoundCloud, but I've looked for it, but I haven't found anything. But he says in the clip, he says he wasn't putting this one on YouTube. He's gonna put it on SoundCloud.
Well, I can tell you there's some really, really good gems out there. I know I've been working on an archive just for the community of stuff that he's done with us and then just whatever we can find as well. But yes, to your point, there are some very odd kind of random clips out there that are absolute gems. So I wish the mic feature worked a little bit better because I would totally want to play it right now, but it doesn't. And it's not going to transfer to the audience the way I would like it to.
Yeah, I think everyone should check it out at some point because
Yeah,
I think
dude, I love that.
listening to
Thank
it was
you.
great.
Thank you very much. Actually, I love those, and I
Yo,
do want to get. I do want to collect more of those. So anyway, bro, um we're gonna keep it going, keep it flowing.
yeah, somebody else want to jump on the
Well,
mic?
we just have more folks here.
Kit, can I jump in, son?
Yeah, jump in here,
Nice
geezer.
one, brother. I've got my lads fucking ragging on me to go and sort some on his computer. But I just wanted to say to your man, what was it, Marcel, is it that geezer who was talking at the start? Fucking massive, mate. People don't understand. Like when you're talking, oh, I can't get over this level. I can't get this thing. People, when you're talking like that, man, it's not even so much that, it's thoughts, man, thinking patterns. Don't you think like thoughts are things, man? As soon as you get stuck into I can't do this, can't do that, you're right 100% of the time if you say you can't do something, I try and tell my kids this all the while. If you're negative about something, you're telling yourself you can't do it, the universe will make that right, mate. You won't be able to do it. If you're thinking to yourself, yeah, I can do it, I've just got to focus, find what you need, what your aim is, crack on with it. Your subconscious, man, it's fucking so strong, it's crazy. It literally runs everything. You are the architect of your universe, of the whole of your experience of the universe, I find. The more
Do you really believe that, mate?
Mate, I'm sitting here, but sometimes I used to think, oh, I can't, like, what does my fucking thinking have to do with a
Right.
market
Woe is
that's,
me, right?
yeah, exactly. But I believe with 100% of my heart that you control everything that goes on in your own experience, mate. And I've got so into shit recently. Like, I can tell from how you're talking, you've obviously manifestation and all that, you're into it. I've been looking into like quantum entanglement and all sorts of shit, mate. Like the science behind everything. And the more I look into it, man, the more positive I am. I think like I write out like you was on about affirmations and that. Like I'll write out my definite chief aim every morning. I'm just looking at a sheet of paper now. 3 needle moving goals for today. 3 things I'm grateful for. And that was like you was when you was talking about emotions and this, that, the other. Being grateful for what you do have and that you have, like Michael's put this stuff out for us to learn. Just being grateful for everything you've already got before it comes. Such a massive thing, man.
I love that, bro. I love that. I love how that resonates. I can tell that resonates with you. It gave me goosebumps.
Mate,
That's
I'm just
awesome.
the more I don't usually come. I'll sit here and listen to this all day long, but I don't never usually come on and have a natter with you. Like I know I've spoke to you before, off not on these things, but like when you started talking about emotions and your man there was saying, "Oh, I can't get past the $200 payout." He needs to realise that it's not him. It's not the fucking market that's stopping him from doing that. It's himself. You know what I mean? He is putting that block in front of himself.
I love that you're able to acknowledge that and that he gets to hear that as well. Because when we are this collective consciousness of traders, when we are a community, like you can really sense the energy that someone else brings to the conversation.
100%.
And most folks don't realize
A
that,
lot of
right?
people
A
they
lot of
don't
folks don't
understand.
realize what they bring to the conversation, and just by sometimes the points that they make, the inflection, the intonation, just the conversation that they carry essentially with themselves, but with us,
100%.
you can, it's just so telling
It's
if you're really kind of listening for it.
definitely.
And
Michael said
within
as
our
well, when,
communication, I
sorry
love
to
that you're
cut you
able
off,
to,
brother.
no, you're not at all,
When
brother.
Michael's
You're
saying not to like talk badly about yourself in your journal, but people don't understand. They do that in their own heads all fucking day long. You know, they used to, oh God, fucking, I've fucked this up again, or I can't do this, I'm never going to be able to do that. The more you say that to yourself, you're just ordering that from the universe. The universe saying, oh, you're a shit trader. You think you're a shit trader? Okay, I'll give you some more of that. You've lost this, I'll give you some more of that. You know, if you've got to be positive, you've got to put yourself in the position of a profitable trader before you ever get there, before you ever get the payout, you know?
the mentalism, the visualization,
It's
the
massive.
again, we talk about affirmations, but you visually seeing it, being able to put yourself there before it happens, adding emotions and feelings to those visualizations can do
100%,
so
mate. I don't
much.
know if you do you watch I don't know if you watch any of the UFC, mate. You used to back in the day. Conor
Oh yeah,
McGregor,
I'm a fan of I'm a big fan of the UFC.
mate.
I mean, I don't like stare at it every day, but I've definitely paid attention to a lot of
Did
those
you ever
fighters
hear a lot of
before.
what McGregor used to say? He'd
Oh
say,
yeah.
"Oh, mate, he was fucking massive on it," and they used to call him Mystic McGregor, didn't they? Because he'd put it out there what round he was going to knock somebody out, or you know, and throughout the
Bro,
whole fight.
Nikki, you totally remind me of a Conor McGregor kind of type, bro.
But it's fucking straight up, mate. That is. He'd like call it, and he'd say he's seeing his man throwing the fucking left hand in training this, that, the other, and he's seeing himself duck under it, pop up, bang, and that's exactly what he did to that geezer. I can't remember the lad's name,
No,
um,
no, you're
but
right.
it
You're right. And
sparked him
he did
like
talk
that.
about it.
He's seen it before it happened, and that's the same with everything in life. I think that's what I've come in to think more and more. And I try and tell my kids, like I'll hear my lads talking to his mum about, oh, I can't fucking do this, or excuse my language, I can't do this, can't do that. And I'll go in there, I'll get really upset about it. I'm like, listen, if you saying you can't do something, you're 100% right all the time, kid. You know, because if you're thinking you can't do it in your own head before you even attempting it, it's not the way. You're never going to do it. You're putting it out there into the ether that you can't do it. So that's exactly what you're going to get back.
I love it, bro. You're
Listen,
absolutely right. You're picking up what we're putting down, that's for
mate,
sure.
I had to jump in with that. But listen, your stream today as well, that was fire, mate.
I was kind of on point, right? I
Yeah, you
kind of
was, mate.
called.
You was banging. Not to beat myself up. Did you see any of my comments at the start? I was pointing out that my um, game plan was for it to drop onto the 0.5 of that opening range gap, and there was a Friday's first presented there as well. It was sitting right level with each other, and it was just wicking and wicking and wicking down onto the CE, but it didn't. It just wouldn't let it down. So I was like, bang, that's long straight away. Took that. That was a beautiful trade I had, and then the first presented fair value gap today. That hit nicely as well. Twice I had two great trades. But I was watching,
I love that.
I marked on the levels where you were saying we was going to drop into, and it made it fucking bang straight down into it, and then rocketed, didn't it? I was already
Yeah,
done
I
and
mean,
dusted by then.
we were right on the kind of the whole lattice, the way it stepped down and stepped back
Yeah,
up.
yeah, it was
So
beautiful, mate. Called it really well, mate. If everyone's not listening to them, need to get stuck into them big time, mate, because you did lay it out beautifully this morning.
nice,
Um,
nice. I'm glad. Yeah, I thought it was pretty well laid out.
It was, mate.
So
The best thing I found out today, though, was your ringtone on your phone, Kit. So
ah,
that was fucking epic, mate. Night Rider.
that
I didn't put
that's yeah,
I
that
didn't
is
put
that's
it
funny.
together, for about 2 seconds, and then I clocked. I thought, oh, that was fucking awesome, mate. Super
That's funny. I have yeah, I have Knight Rider and then I have Yoda. Uh
epic.
Yoda is on my ringtone as well. Those are my two ringtones.
Mate,
Knight Rider is the sound, and then the ringtone is what is it? Do or do not. That is no be or whatever something Yoda says.
Oh no,
But
I don't know whether everyone's old enough to even know that the car in that was called Kit. I don't know whether they'll clock it or not, but mate,
yeah, it's a
fucking,
different
it
generation,
made me laugh, mate.
different
Made me
generation
laugh,
of
pal.
folks.
Superb. But listen, mate, I'm going to have to go and jump in with the kid now. See what he's fucking whinging
Yeah,
about. But
man, it was nice having you
thanks
on,
for having
Nikki.
me on, brother. I'll speak to you
Yeah,
soon, pal.
appreciate you coming up, buddy. Yeah,
Nice one, mate.
appreciate you coming
See
up.
you later, guys. Good luck, everyone. Cheers, mate.
Yeah, Nikki D, the Giza, coming in. Nice. Good vibes. Very good vibes. We heard from Real Marcel. We got Rick T, our favorite Italian in the house.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm doing very well. How about yourself?
Been a while. I've been always here, listening. I was kind of
Yes,
quiet.
you're busy in the background cooking. I know you've made that very clear. You're cooking.
Yeah, yeah, I'm having fun. Um, Look, I've been listening the last few TRU, and uh, can I give a reflection on?
Please.
So I posted in the Blue Purple Pill.
Yes, sir.
I posted this thing is called the Dunning-Kruger effect. I'm sure you know what it is, but maybe a lot of folks they don't know. And if you guys gonna go and watch that little chart, the Dunning-Kruger effect is simply like you're gonna see like a chart with confidence and your know-how. And I think a lot of people here, and that's where I was like maybe a year ago, we're like at the beginning of the curve where we think we know, but we ain't no shit. We're like on what we call the peak of Mount Stupid. And there's a lot of people that are on the peak of Mount Stupid and they go trading with real money on prop firms, losing money because they just don't know that they don't know. Because ICT is a language and you gotta spend a lot of time to learn it. And when you fall from there and you go down the valley of despair, oh yeah, that's really dark. And I've been there. I've been there for months, hundreds and hundreds of hours in that valley of despair. But you keep on studying, you keep on learning. It's called the slope of enlightenment. And little by little, you get to know a bit more. So in that reflection, I was thinking about something to a reflection that it would be like a parable outside of the world of trading. It's like, yeah, ICT is a language. So let's think that as Americans, that most of you are, imagine that you're gonna go to a foreign country. Let's say Japan, Korea, Russia. Let's say you wanna go to Russia. So you're gonna take a Russian lesson course. You're gonna take a level 1, level 2. So maybe you're gonna learn how to speak like 100 words of Russian. And then you go to Russia. What you gonna do with 100 words? Maybe you can buy a sandwich at the airport. Maybe you can take a cab. And maybe you can get to your hotel. Yeah, pretty much with a level 1, level 2 Russian. You're probably gonna get scammed by the taxi. They're gonna overcharge you. So you're gonna be able to spend money in Russia. But are you gonna be able to make money? No, I don't think so. Because country like Russia, they no, they're not gonna have like feelings about you, coming there and want to make money in their turf. No, they're gonna slit your throat. They're gonna take your money. You ain't going there and making money unless you speak really good Russian. And even when you're gonna learn to speak like fluent Russian, you ain't speaking slang. And even when you speak the slang, you don't know how they operate. You don't know nothing because you're a fucking American in Russia. And vice versa. Wherever you're a Japanese coming to America or an Italian like me coming to America, I'm called an alien when I come to your country by your own immigration. So it doesn't matter if I speak very well English or you speak very well Russian, you go to Russia, you want to make business. You got to go there and sit still and observe how they make business, how they fuck each other, or is all those cutthroat halley in business. And that is the world of trading. It's one of the most ruthless place to make business. And if you don't speak the language, you're gonna get fucked. You're gonna get, sorry for my language, but I gotta be honest with all those kids. You're gonna get fucked and butt fucked over and over and over because you don't speak the language And even when you speak the language a little bit, like you talk the walk, but you don't walk the walk, you think you can go in there and trade. I don't think so. Because most of you, if you're going to ask, like, how much time you spent to learn the language? Oh, I didn't do it. No, you don't. You didn't. Most of you haven't done even core content. And when you start core content, what the man says, he says you should have done those playlists before. You know, like the sniper playlist, the OT. Most of you haven't done that. Then you go straight to the core content, some of you. And then you want to go trading. That's just the language, not how you use it. So you have this man that has spent thousands and thousands of hours to show you how to speak and then how to talk. And then kind of showing you how the first rope, how you do business. But basically, most of you are some American tourists in a flower t-shirt or shirt in Russia in winter, and you want to make money and you don't even speak. So I'm a bit appalled. I'm appalled when I see a lot of you like, oh, I am an inverse fair value gap trader. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is an inverse fair value gap trader? Is someone that speak like, I'm Tarzan, you Jane in Russia? You're a nobody. Yeah, you can wait an inverse fair value. You're fucking gambling. All of you are gambler because you don't take the time to fucking learn. This is a language. And you're going in a foreign country called the fucking markets, and there's no feeling in there.
But I like I like an inverse fair value gap.
Yeah, I am an inverse obsidian reverse second utilizations of the last presented fair value gap. The fuck is that? It's like you want to learn music, you go to the conservatory and you gotta spend like 2-3 years there to fucking learn music, which is just a language of 7 fucking notes and space of time, space. You gotta wait. So yeah, I heard a lot of kids, a lot of old guys, young guys, they come here and they cry, they sob that they lost money. But do they learn? Did they went to the fucking school? Because ICT is an online university, and once you spend the time, what you're gonna learn is insane. Is magnificent what he has
Yep.
gave us. But none of
Yes.
you like, and there's another thing, because a lot of you are from America. And if I'm not mistaken, the way you go to school and the way you pass your exam are tests with fucking checkbox. Like in the
Ooh,
rest of the
Scantron.
huh?
It's called Scantron.
Sorry, yeah, thank you for the word, but
No,
because
yeah, no, it just so you know, it's when you fill in the bubbles, A, B, C, D,
yeah,
or E, those are the bubbles, right? And
it's
so you look at the test is on the paper, and then you fill in the Scantron, which is the bubble sheet, and then the teacher just throws that through the answer sheet so that your grades come out instantly.
yeah, but you see, like in Europe, when we go to school and we have to pass an exam, we have just a blank piece of paper with all the question, and we have to write everything. There's no like check boxes. And
Right,
maybe from the American education, I don't know, a lot of you kids, you think that you're gonna learn ICT like check boxes. Ain't no check boxes here. It's a freaking language with nuances.
There's
There's
no check boxes here, boy.
yeah, it's new. There's so many
Well, that's
nuances.
the one thing you're saying is very real, and that's the one thing no one like. You cannot hide from yourself. You cannot hide from the decisions that you make. You cannot hide from being correct or incorrect in the or in the series or sequences of ways in which you choose to engage with the market. So how you choose to engage with the market is step one, and then the sequence in which you choose to engage with the market is step two. And the sequence being lose, 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 win, 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 lose, win, 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 lose, lose, win, win, lose, 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 or win, 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 loss, win, right?
Yeah.
So, how people engage with the market has a lot to do with themselves and their own experience. But less is more. And we talk about that a lot, right? Like less is more. And I mean, consecutive losses are a thing. So you have to be mindful of that. So the more you trade, the more chance you have of losing. And then the more you need to trade to get it back. Because once it's gone, you're in drawdown. Now you're in drawdown mitigation. You have to trade just to get out of drawdown. And then you have to be right, where you're going further into drawdown. So
Yeah, and most of you, you shouldn't be trading money. You should just be on, tape reading for a year and paper trading. Period. You should lose in paper trading 1,000 times before you start understanding something. You get good by losing. You get good by making mistakes and learning from your mistakes. But if you're gonna put real money on the line, there's only that amount of mistake you can do. If you go on paper training, you're gonna be able to do hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of mistakes and learn from them. But a lot of you don't want to do that. Oh, you just want to go to Las Vegas to the casino and just put the money and yeah, I'm gonna be lucky. Oh, I know what I'm doing. No, you're on peak of month stupid. You don't know what you're doing, most of you. You don't. You fucking don't. Like, the man is telling you that 2 years, you gotta have some money, or you have to have a job, and you gotta study. There's no other way. I mean, I'm saying, I'm appalled. So many people coming here and crying because they lost money, and they have no idea what they're doing. No idea. Absolutely. Are you there, kid?
yeah, bro, I'm here. I'm just
Yes.
listening to you.
So, yeah, continue. Sorry, because I was on a train of thought, and then I was trying to get it back. But the thing is that I'm on my own path where I am now. Like, I'm very comfortable. I'm comfortable on placing my trade. I'm comfortable with my stop loss. Sometimes I get hit, no problem. Reassess the analysis. Maybe you go wrong in the way you analyzed your or frame your trade. And Michael, ICT, is giving you models. A model is a simplification of this language. It's just framing. Like when you're gonna take a camera and instead of trying to take the whole countryside, you're just gonna frame just that mountain and the lake. So it's just helping you to simplify through models how to frame just a piece of this fractal and stack the probability on your side, giving you models that they work, models that have been proven statistically to work time and over time over. But no, all of them, they want to invent, they want to come on those markets. I don't know, they want to make the new 2026 model, whatever, when this thing is only doing two things. It's either going for liquidity or repricing an inefficiency. And it's only after you study thousands of hours that you're going to see how simple it is. But it's very complex in its simplicity. Once you're really gonna study that, you're gonna see that you can blend models. You can just transition from one model into another. It's not that complicated after several thousand hours of study. I can tell you that. To all the people say, "Oh, ICT is a fraud. ICT doesn't work." Bullshit. Fucking bullshit. It works. Clock works. I remember when I was studying this stuff, and when I look back on myself 2 years ago, a year ago, like the progression. Like right now, I open a chart. The first thing I look is what time it is. Where we coming from? Where are we? Where are we going? What are the PD array, the inefficiency? I start, you start, going through the time frames. You dive in. You know what you're looking for. You know what to look for. But most of you are not. Once you study all those concepts, and since we are in 2026, guys, you can use AI for $20. You can recode everything. You can automate what you need for yourself. I went into TradingView at the beginning, in the middle, and I was looking for, is there ICT stuff that work? No. 90% is fucking shit. So I had to do all the stuff for myself. And as you do this stuff, you do the work of, I spend months to create my own, cooking my own things that work for me. And I suggest you should do the same. You should go write down pen and paper what you need to do, what you need to see on your screen, and just go on and vibe code, and it's gonna show up on your screen. It kind of works. You need to take the time. It's gonna take you 2 years to arrive somewhere. If someone 2 years ago would have told me like, "Oh, Rick, you're gonna need like 10,000 hours and 2 years, like full time," I don't know if I would have started it. But 2 years later, I'm glad. I'm really glad where I am now and what I'm doing now, and what I will do this year.
So you're saying anyone who's listening for the first time to Trader Roundup that they have 2 years of uninterrupted experience that they need to really get the game. That's what you're saying? 2 years nose to the grindstone before you're gonna see anything.
It's like if you go to a university, to a college
Well, no,
course.
I like getting your take. Is that what you're saying? Pretty please. Speak
Yes,
to the
yes,
listener.
yes,
What are you saying?
yes. You're gonna need a couple years to wait a second. Wait a second. When I was a kid, I was at school, and I was never good at math, like pure math. I wasn't good at that. I was understanding that, but it was requiring a lot of work. And there was always some kid in the class. The teacher was explaining that, and that kid was getting that like right away. So is there some kids around you that you watch the video one time, you watch core content is 53 hours, you watch it one time, you understand it? Great. You one of those fucking kids. They are genius. I'm jealous. It take me like 5 times to watch core content over and over for 5 times and taking note every time, and every time I would peel off another layer. So to everybody that is like me, normal, that I learn slowly, but when I learn, I know you cannot take it away from me. It took me several thousands of hours and a couple years. I'm not excluding that someone can do it
Yes.
in 6 months, but I think that
No,
will be
I
like
like what you're
an
saying though,
anomaly.
because they can't take it from you. I think you get to a point as a trader and you spend so many hours of delayed gratification or of sacrifice or of pain. But there just comes a point where you've developed so much scar tissue. But you're going to be able to look at your fellow trader, your fellow man, the person who's in the markets with you, and they're going to be like, wow, those are some good trades, or I really like what you did there, I like how you're moving in the market, and you can confidently look at them and say, it's like, you can't take this experience from me, you can't take what I know. Like, knowing how to trade out of a wick is a thing, knowing how to trade out of a high time frame wick is a thing. And again, if you understand all of the different range dynamics, candle dynamics, the candle science, the way in which, the formation of the low time frame versus the high time frame, how it all has to kind of coalesce and work together, then you can get inside on side with your impulse, which is all you need as a trader. Get on side with your impulse. That's it. Your impulse. Where is it? Every day.
And if you don't bet real money while you're learning, you're gonna have like a lot less scar tissue. And ICT clearly said it over and over and over. You don't need to have that scar tissue.
No, some people don't need it, but other folks end up having it regardless. So,
Yeah.
scar tissue, again, unfortunately, to, I've got a lot. So, unfortunately, that's just what it is. It's kind of
But
like
yeah, but
you
Keith,
look at someone who has like tattoos on their body, and someone's like, oh, well, tattoos mean this, that, or the other. And you're like, well, I just have a lot of tattoos.
You started 20 years ago. You started even before ICT. You know, you got a way bigger experience than a lot of us combined here in this
We
podcast.
got we got Michael here. I just sent him the co-host. Hopefully he grabs it.
Ooh, I'm off.
So yeah, well, wait, we'll get him up here somehow. I think it's the Android thing does not like it. Michael, what's up, brother?
I was just listening to you
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
talk.
No, we're hanging out. So it's good that you're here. It's been a really good vibe. Really good vibe. Um, Rick T's talking. We've had some actually pretty good convo, I'd say.
The only thing I heard when I came in was you were saying you have scar tissue and you have a lot of it. I don't know what was said before that. I don't know what the
Yes.
context
Okay.
is.
Yeah. No, we were talking scar tissue, and we were talking about where how you are experience in the market, and where and how you choose, like in your compendium, where and how folks learn how to, or they choose how to learn. It's like a choose your own adventure, right? And you lay out that choose your own adventure very well throughout your compendium. Pretty much choose your own adventure in all of the different series. You have that kind of like flavor or vibe in which the trader gets to choose what they want, but you're also trying to provide them that experience, and that's the scar tissue I'm referring to right now. Michael, is some of us require it, and some of us actually don't, and they appreciate not having to go through it because of the wisdom or the foresight that they would get from listening to your mentorship.
Well, that's an interesting take on it. I mean, I used to read those books as a kid, different pathways throughout the book. If you choose this for the character you're reading about, then it takes you a different direction. And that's an interesting view on it. But it is a very interactive and an individual pursuit. Like I give you the tools, but also give you a framework on how to take those tools and place them in their proper place and perspective. You don't need a whole lot of stuff, but unfortunately, everybody that comes in, they think they got to do everything. They have to bring all the things to make it work, and you don't need that. You just need to know where the market's likely to go. How should the market behave today? Is it likely that it's going to pull higher or lower? And is the economic calendar showing things that are conducive for price to behave a certain way that would support that higher or lower price? And what was the previous session? What did it do? How did it behave? And where is it obvious where they want to take liquidity? Then simply having an entry mechanism. It could be as simple as just you know buying the strength after it takes a swing low out, and you think it's going to go higher. Just find a 15-second or a 30-second swing high and put a buy stop above that, and use the lowest low of the intraday and use one micro, and you'll make money with that. Like it's not complex, but the hard part is getting it through to everybody when they come to me is you have to know what you're looking for. And that is basically what you're describing also. Is it, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to be a day trader? Are you trying to trade once or twice a week? Are you trying to put something on that allows you to hold for a day or two? Are you just in there for a couple months, like you're a position trader? It depends greatly on what it is that you're trying to become. And all of it's accessible. Nobody has any limitations placed on them. But you have to have a determination in the beginning, at least a base point, starting point. Like where am I right now coming into trading? And a lot of people, they want to be day traders because they think that's the only people that make money, and that it's not. It's for people that don't want to hold on to risk too long, and they know what they're looking for, and they want to get in, get out, and that's it. But it doesn't really gel with most people because you have to, number one, be comfortable in your own skin. That means know what it feels like to be in a trade without the outcome being certain and submitting to that. And over time, you get hardened by that. You get made callous to it. In the beginning, when you first do it, you're soft belly. Okay, everything hurts, everything stings, it's prickly. It's like rubbing up against a cactus. It's not pleasant, and you have to condition yourself to go through that. And over time, that callus builds up, and you're like, okay, my model says this, even though my emotions would have said the other thing, the opposite, months ago or years ago. The model says this. The rules say this. The order flow says this, and I'm not gonna back down from what it is I'm adhering to. And if I get stopped out, it's okay because I know this model isn't broken because I took a stop loss. Simple as that. So there's a whole lot of things, which makes it very expensive. Even though my stuff is for free, it's very expensive. It's expensive because you have to spend a lot of your own time figuring out what makes you tick and what are you pursuing. And it's real quick and easy for other people to say, see, I'm going to help you out. I'm going to go through all the videos for you and give you what works. That's their interpretation of what worked for them. But I have students that use everything I have in pieces. I don't have a whole lot of students that use everything like I do. I have students that do exceptionally well with specific PD arrays, and they're not the popular ones either. So you have to spend your time figuring yourself out. What makes you self-destruct? What gets you motivated? What keeps you motivated? What are you looking for in the marketplace now after you've been doing it for 3 months? Has it changed? Has it grown into doing something different? Or are you stretching the boundaries of what you were initially trying to do and able to do already, but now you want to grow? Well, growth has growing pains, and you have to condition yourself through that. So it's expensive. Even though you're not spending money, it's expensive. It takes effort, it takes time, and you don't get any kind of encouragement from yourself except for through your journal.
I love that. So true.
If I could go back and let the guy that was talking finish, I wanted to hear whatever he was saying, if you don't mind.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, Rick T, you there, buddy?
Yeah, I am.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Crash
Oh
the
no,
party or anything.
oh no. I have a question since you're there. I was checking my chart between RTH and ETH, and then I noticed something as I was having multiple chart on my screen and looking at the NDX, and then using the 7-hour candle on RTH with the NQU contract. I'm able to visualize like a daily candle. It's not similar to a daily candle because there's no more than 6 hours and 45 minutes on RTH, and seeing all those I'm gonna say all those gaps, because it's a chart with a lot of gaps. They are utilized, and then since I could not have a weekly chart visualization on that, remembering the November 2025 lesson where you show how people would trade stocks, but they are full of gaps, and you are switching back to the weekly chart. And so I designed for myself a script, well, called TradingView Indicator. I designed for myself a script that will create for myself weekly candles based on the RTH chart. And I'm able to see things on the chart, let's say PD array, inefficiency, that will be otherwise not possible to visualize through TradingView or I think other platforms. And do you think that this is I'm investing my time properly in doing those things, or considering your experience?
I don't think it's a good way of pursuing your study by asking, even though like you're looking at to me as a mentor. I haven't looked at every possible thing on every time frame. Like I don't have the time to do that. And if I were to say no, you shouldn't do that, that would be a very disingenuous thing as an instructor, as a teacher, because you may see something doing what you're describing. I'll readily admit I don't do that, but I don't want you to be discouraged and say, well, he didn't do it and he doesn't do it and he doesn't think it's good, so therefore I'm not going to pursue anything. You may find something in doing that may not really yield to what you perhaps thought it might do for you, but you'll discover something about things that you didn't understand and have like open-ended questions. Something that you're struggling with and can't quite figure out something. And then all of a sudden, because you're pursuing deeper studying price action, you'll find an answer to something that you didn't really go into looking for. And I have many accounts of my own in my own journal work, and I have students reporting the same thing. Still now, I have 2016 charter members emailing me, telling me, hey, look, you're not going to believe this, but I was just monkeying around with this, that, and the other thing, and I found something, and it answered a question I had that was never really satisfied my interest as far as whenever you talked about it. It didn't quite get what I was hoping to get as a response. But then I started seeing this in the in the chart doing these types of things, and I found the answer to it. So I don't want to discourage you, even though by me saying in honesty, I don't do what you're describing. So whatever it is that is motivating you to do it, just do it and see where it takes you. There's no wasted time. Whenever you're studying price action and you're looking for things like liquidity, time of day, how it books price, how it defends certain things, by discount sensitivity, premium sensitivity, all those things. If you're looking at the market generically, just like that, there's no wasted time ever doing that. Ever. There's no wasted time ever doing that.
Thank you.
Very
And then
welcome.
one more thing. I've been spending quite some time studying that charter content, that model number 5, where there are
Standard deviations.
standard deviation, etc., etc. But I start seeing that through by coding, because using the TradingView standard feed tool you get to a point where it's not enough. So I coded my own standard deviation tools, and I measured both the consolidation, which is the base of Model 5, but also I start measuring specific times for reversals. And when you overlap those standard deviations, you start seeing something that, like in quantum physics, like let's say, let me make some simple image. Like you have a pond of water and you throw 2 little rocks and you will have 2 ripple effects. And then you will see a wave of interference where the crest of the wave, they are confluencing. And similarly to what you explained in Model 5. So I'm seeing things in the charts that are very interesting, where you see those confluences and they are right at the next market reversal. And it's it's very interesting to investigate, to study. And I remember in November 25, I was asking you a question about that Model 5 and how we would convert those PEEP to points. I eventually found the answer. I found the answer, which was like in 3 seconds of something you said in the core content. Someone really pay attention, there is the answer, or you do that. And would be that something that you would teach more about it, because it's so fascinating to study this and to work on that.
Yes. I hopefully we'll start seeing some more movement in Forex, because I would like to go back to touching on that market. But right now it's just, it's not all that exciting. But I suppose it may be soon. But I was hoping that it would be more busier than it is right now. So it needs to have some more volatility. It needs to be moving around. It's basically efficiently delivering right now. And there isn't a whole lot of inefficiency in it. So because of that, it makes index trading in futures my cup of tea. Even though it's ugly sometimes, it's volatile. And there isn't enough volatility for me to justify, sitting there talking about Forex, because the ranges are too small. I'm not interested in doing that. But I have every intention of going back into that, because I have to close that book up for Forex and using those tools for charter members, and that way everybody else gets the benefit from it as well.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
So the edge, traders trading from OHLC, being able to measure, take measurements in the way, I was talking about it earlier on, Michael, but like the edge, like what people you can't take away once you know how to do what we know how to do. And like that's the beauty of the magic of the mystery of how difficult it is to trade. But at the same time, what once you have it, once you know what that tastes like, seeing it in the hands of other people, which is so beautiful about a call-in show, bringing people together and talking about trading and trading this knowledge base, these tools. And I know one of my favorite tools is really, really looking at the 1800 price and how much we displace below that from the weekly open. right? And really trying to measure that gap, and not that gap, but measure that distance of how much that becomes a wick, and then for it to do what we get in those gaps and that massive expansion up. That was difficult too. That was a difficult price run to try to engage with for any intraday trader, Michael. I mean, they did not make it easy, but it's textbook the schematics that you've taught in core content month 6, which has to do a little more with swing trading. Not everything is the high probability trading in intraday out of month 8. It has to do with folks and their personalities and being able to swing trade. And the idea of swing trading, as you're saying, with a very small amount of leverage, but then seeing it go in the right direction over a higher time frame. That might be the type of trader some folks are, and they're busy trying to, find themselves in the intraday when they might not be the intraday trader, which is the beauty of what you do, is help people find and guide them to become the type of trader that they want to become.
Well, the added benefit of teaching with intraday charts, and you'll hear these people out there, they'll say silly things like, because they have never met someone that hasn't traded ES and NQ on a day, every day, all day. They don't believe it's possible. Yet there's people literally bringing their receipts forward every single day, being cash positive in a real broker account. And these people will lead you to believe that even intraday trading, even if it doesn't fit your personality, even if it doesn't feel like it is what you want to go into trading as a career as, it's absolutely beneficial for you to study it, because whatever we're doing on the lower time frames, sub 1 minute, 1 minute, less than 15 minute, less than 4 hour, it's the same stuff you're going to be doing on a daily chart. It's the same thing we're looking at on a weekly chart. And it's very frustrating for me when I see new people coming in and they think to themselves, like, he only talks about NQ. He only talks about futures. He doesn't talk about gold. So I don't think it works in gold. And they want me to do tricks for them in gold. Gold is an event-driven market. I could care less about gold. Gold, you can go out there and do the same thing I'm doing with NQ. Same thing. Despite the people that come forward and say, you can't do it, you can. But you have to know what you're doing first. If you don't know what you're doing, clearly it's not going to work in your hands. So by having an approach to studying price action with a 1 minute time frame, just forget all the major concern about how that's not a time frame that you could be in front of the charts with. It doesn't matter, because what you study in these 1 minute time frames, it gives you so many examples. You're compressing what can't be compressed with daily time frames or 4 hour charts as easily as in a 1 minute chart. You have dozens of opportunities per day, dozens of observations that you can make in. Whereas if you're looking at it as a short term trader and you're working with a daily chart, man, that's a slow crawl. I tried it that way, folks. I tried. And it's like, man, I feel like I'm missing all this opportunity to learn. I got to wait for the whole daily candlestick to close. And I'm out there working, trying to fill vending machines and coffee machines and stressing about how that candle's going to end for the day. Well, back then it was open, high, low, and close bars. It doesn't give you enough information to make the journey fruitful for you. Sure, you can look at old books and you can look at old charts, but it's not the same. It's not the same as watching these candles or bars, if you're still using them, okay, be birthed. When that candle opens up, it's born. And then you get to see its whole lifespan in 60 seconds. And in 60 seconds, you get a storyline that tells you how that candlestick's family tree, past it, how it's going to grow and flourish, what it's going to do. Is it going to be a noteworthy candle that sends forth price action to a high degree of price moving higher? And it's like, wow, and everybody's going to talk about that price run that one candlestick started? Or is it going to be the end of something that's been going on? You have all of these observations you can pursue, and it builds you as a trader, and it builds you as an analyst, it builds you as a tape reader. Those three things must be in agreement when you sit down and watch price action. It doesn't matter what school of thought you use, whether it's mine or anyone else's stuff. But without having the benefit of looking at short-term time frames, you are actually creating this scenario where your learning curve is so much longer than it needs to be. And I wasted 2 years messing around on higher time frame charts and not going down to lower time frames enough. And then I started my best learning was on 1 minute time frames. I learned the most about price action looking through the lens of a 1 minute chart. And there's going to be people out there that's going to argue and say, don't listen to this guy, don't do this, don't do that, whatever, dude. I'm bringing it. Like, I'm showing you this stuff works. I use the same logic all the time. And I'm doing it with a 1 minute time frame.
I
Like,
mean,
I'm not
Michael, for
making
what
it
it's
up.
worth, within the community, we refer to the 1 minute as base one. Like, I mean, with everything you're saying, wanting to echo what you've said in the past is like in any naysayer, base one is where you are watching and seeing the market in high definition as it's occurring in its one-to-one relationship with price and time. Period. That's it. Base one. So you can't do anything unless you really have semesters worth of time in understanding that. And that is something, a defensible position, Michael, I've had within the community and other folks that are like, oh, I just can't do the 1 minute. I just can't do it. I don't know how you do the 1 minute. And it's like, I honestly don't know how you don't do the 1 minute. Like I got the 1 minute zoomed in on a nice screen and I see everything in niche HD. But again, to your point though, Michael, within the community, I think it's important. You know, base one is where you're going to have a semester or multiple semesters within understanding and learning time and price.
The difficulty comes when they want to try to trade before they know how to read price action. That's what they're all saying. They're all saying it doesn't work or I can't make it work. It's complicated because they haven't studied enough. They haven't done any back testing. They have no idea what they're looking for. They think they see an imbalance, so therefore, if it goes down, I'm going to buy it. When the market's getting ready to sell off, everything's primed for it to go lower. It's reaching for a new week opening gap that's 300 handles lower than where we are right now. But they see one individual candlestick that's an up close candle that's nestled right between two other candles. So naturally, they're going to say, that's a fair value gap. ICT is probably going to trade that. And they go in there and they push their button and they try to get their accounts funded or they pass their funded account challenges, whatever they call them, and they lose. And they come to you, they come to me, they come to all my students that are teaching, and they say, this stuff doesn't work. You know, you're all frauds, blah, 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 can't make it work. When they haven't done anything to justify why they should have pushed the button anyway, at all. Look at it this way. If your person, your body, your physical body, if that's the monthly chart, and you don't feel right, something's getting ready to cause an imbalance in your life. Okay, you're about to lose ground. Okay, or you're about to, enter into a new career that demands more physical exertion on your part. You're going to go get a physical. So you go to the physical. Doctor, physician sits down with you and says, "Okay, let me take a look at you." Looks at you, don't see any kind of broken bones. You didn't limp when you came in. You didn't complain about nothing. So let me take your temperature. That's a weekly chart. You're getting a little bit more vitals from you. All right, let me go down to the daily chart and get your pulse. All right, okay. How about take a deep breath, breathe in, breathe out. Okay, great, wonderful. Gentlemen, you know the cough and turn. It's part of the process. But then you go down to blood work. You want to get a urine sample and blood work. Well, where do you got to go to get that information? You got to go down below a daily chart. And you got to do and zoom in with magnification, smaller and smaller and smaller. And you got to see, is there any problems? Is there any problems in your blood work? Is there any problems with your urinary tract? Is there any issues? Is there any blood in your urine? How's the glucose? How's all that stuff? You can't find all those things, which are much, much more important than what you look like outwardly. There's a lot of people that are sick, absolutely sick, but outwardly you would never know it. They got things ticking inside them. They have things that are telling you, listen, I'm in metabolic syndrome. I'm dealing with something. It hasn't manifested itself outwardly. So when people say you shouldn't look at a 1 minute chart, they're just a neophyte. You pity them because they don't know that they don't know yet. And to argue with them makes you a fool. So I might have fun sporting with them, teasing them, but you yourself, when they encounter you with it, just simply say, look, what are you doing? What are you doing with it? What have you done with it? And the conversation usually ends there, or they come forward with something and it becomes a gainful, not gainful employment, a gainful conversation. But 1 minute chart is absolutely essential because I'm skipping. Okay, I'm skipping. You show up. I'm a doctor, Dr. ICT's office. Okay, come in. All right, sit down, piss in the cup. Give me your finger. I'm taking your blood. I'm getting right to the point. You guys say I don't want to get to the point. I'm getting to the point already. 1 minute chart. I need to know what's going on. I'll know what the pulse is because I'm looking at the 1 minute chart. I know your blood work. I know the blood work of the market. Is it bullish? Is it bearish? What's it want to go after? I can study the white blood cells of price action and how they're going to attack the foreign things in the blood. Where's that going to be found? Above old highs and below old lows. It's going to reach out there and grab that stuff. It's going to consume it. I don't need to be monkeying around on the higher time frame charts because I know my way around the body of a candle of price relative to time. As simple as that, folks. But when you try to complicate it and say you shouldn't be doing this or I can't do this, you just can't do it right now. But you can if you spend enough time doing it. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. What you see me do today, there ain't no way in the world I could have been told when I was 20 years old that I'd be able to do that. I didn't think that was possible. I didn't think it was possible. But when you say things like, I don't believe it, it's not possible, you're right. Because it's not possible for you with that mindset.
We were saying that earlier, Michael. You weren't here, but that was actually, you're tying into the conversation that was had earlier with Marcelo FX, and yeah, we were having this. You're tying into a conversation that was had with one of the listeners earlier, and anyone who listens to this is going to have a lot of, like, there's going to be some cohesion there, mate. So thank you for bringing that.
Synchronicity.
Yeah, there's some really, really. I'll say, go back and listen to the whole episode, and you will see what you just said and the synchronicity that you have just brought this episode. So it's really cool to see. Very nice.
That's neat. But moving on, I'd like to hear some other people. I
Yeah,
don't want
yeah.
to.
Nikki had his hand up. Pippi's here. Got a couple other folks. Nikki, did you want to add something, mate? Giza?
Oh, Kit, mate. Sorry, pal. Can you hear me, Kit?
Yeah, we can hear you. You had your hand up. I wasn't sure if you had a question.
I did, mate. Yeah. Oh no, Michael, lovely to speak to you, mate, and great to hear what you was just saying there as well. If you'd listened earlier, I was doing some rattling about if you say you can't do it, 100 times out of 100 you can't do it because you put.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hello.
Oh yeah, no, we're good. We're good.
Sorry, mate. I thought I was getting a bit of feedback. What I wanted to ask, mate, is when I'm grading all my ranges now or inefficiencies, whatever I'm doing, I'm making sure I'm putting the minus 0.5 on the fib because the amount of times. Ever since the lecture you did on the opening range, what was it? Sorry, not the opening one. First hour. What is it? Do you call it, Michael? Sorry,
First hour's dealing range.
dealing range. There you go. Yeah. Ever since I was, I watched that video. I've been obsessed with how you're projecting that 0.5 level. Sorry if you can hear my dog, by the way. Keep barking in the background here. And I just watched a video, a lecture, a recent one today, where you was projecting it again for the highs and lows of the day. And I just wanted to clarify, I've only watched it once. I need to watch it back, but I thought while you're here, I might as well ask you if I've got the opportunity. Was the range that you're marking out with the fib, is that so you're getting the initial Judas swing off the 9:30 open, and is it the first pullback that you mark the range off there? I think it might have been because I tried it today and got quite close to the high. I think I just wanted to clarify if that was the range that you was marking out.
The scope in answering that would require a whole chapter of discussion for when we're looking for the high today, and for another chapter for the low today. But I'll say this: there's there's a lot of understanding in regards to narrative, how the price should book based on what you think it's going to be reaching for buy side or sell side. And you're using the previous session, London, you're using the 7 to 9, and you're looking for any kind of range that's just real smooth. Just like a block of price action. If you look at what I was teaching in core content when I was teaching Forex, and when I was teaching standard deviations, using the Asian range, flout, central bank dealers range, those types of things, um, you're waiting for very specific things to show its hand in price action. Once it's in price, then you're just simply measuring an outer boundary level where it should reach for. And what it does is it completely closes out any pending order above relative equal high or single high, or below relative equal lows or a single low. So it's them actively purging liquidity. They're going to go that far out. Now, on big, large event days, it'll go up to 1 standard deviation, up to 1.5 standard deviation. And beyond that, that's something like FOMC, Trump coming out there and giving some kind of jawboning, and then they use that as a reason, as a catalyst. Not that he moves the market, because he doesn't do anything, but they'll use that as an excuse to just rip the market the other direction and just knock out everybody. Those days, you're not going to know. You're not going to know the extreme of it. You might get an idea where it could go, but then sometimes it'll go further than that, and you'll feel like it doesn't work because of that. And it's going to take some time for me to teach them, but it was just me basically flexing on the people that talk about me, and also trying to keep you guys encouraged, because I have lots of stuff, but it takes me a little bit of lecturing on certain things to help bring it together. It's not going to be something like I can come in here and say in one paragraph or two, say, here's what you're going to do. It works like this all the time. There's certain things you have to look for, and if it does this, then you'll look at this, and if that does the very thing we would be looking for, then you would use this, and you would measure this, or you would measure that range. It's as simple as that. But I have to explain those things, and it wouldn't be. I couldn't articulate it in a small amount of time here, or even in one single video.
Right, okay, I could see, because it's just giving you a sort of area where I think, like what you've just said there, where obviously in the session before, whether you're consolidating or whether it has trended all the way, I suppose it's just adding it all together, pieces to the puzzle. But I just wanted to clarify, because the precision that you have with that, where you've just pulled that one pullback and you knew that was the range you wanted to target, and then it hit that 0.5, just blows my mind a bit, to be honest. And I think obviously there's something to that, to those levels,
Well, there is, and it's not
the
by
standard
design, personally.
deviations. Right. Well, I'm going to get even deeper in it now than I was before.
Good,
But
good.
thanks,
Yes.
thank you ever so much, mate. I really appreciate it. And
You're
just
very
while I've
welcome.
got you, mate, for everyone that's listening, I'd say thank you on behalf of all of us for everything you do, mate.
Awesome, thank you.
Thanks a lot, Bob.
So one thing we also were saying to tie in the conversation earlier, Michael, was like everyone can look at the chart and someone's going to see something different. There was a young man talking about or trying to justify wanting to communicate with his parents about how passionate he was about seeing price. And I think, your material, your the work that you've provided makes it easier for someone to actually literally like I see something different in the chart than what other people see. And it has everything to do with the amount of work that I've put into your concepts. And I know you know that innately, but for someone to be able to maybe describe it to their parents who are learning you, or like they're again like this communication back and forth of like I'm not just learning something in the charts, like I see something that I'm really passionate about, and I really want to focus on doing that more. And like part of the conversation was I was like, well, have them sit down and actually listen to one of your lectures, and how it's going to sound like a calculus class and completely like they're not going to understand a word. And then
Right.
try to explain to your parents like, hey, this is something that you're really really passionate about, and that you see something in the charts that they can't see. And like, I don't know if you could speak on that at all, Michael, but like that is also something that was talked about today. And it was a really interesting thing with one of the listeners, how he was going to maybe try and talk more about, or to his parents about just that, you know?
Well, listening to you describe that, something jumped into my head, and I gotta be thankful for the Lord because when I lost my grandfather, he was allowed to stay long enough to watch me graduate, walk across the stage, and literally 6 months later, he was taken. So cancer's ugly; it devours you, and I'm thankful now, looking back, that my father was in prison. He didn't have any real influence over me, and I had separate experiences with different men in my life, with father figures, stepfathers in that business, and my uncle, obviously the guy that introduced me to trading. Um, if my grandfather was alive when I was 20 years old in beginning, like November 5th, 1992, I'm sitting there 9 p.m. on my Aunt Barb's couch down in the family room, and I'm opening up a trading book for the first time, and I fell in love with the idea of it. I didn't know what I was going to do and how I was going to do it, but I knew that was what I was going to do the rest of my life. I knew then. I felt like I was home. I was in the right place. I've never had a job where I felt like that. And I believe wholeheartedly now, looking back, as I had the benefit of hindsight. Okay. If I would have talked to my grandfather about what I was going to start working towards, he would have talked me out of it. He would have talked me out of it because his perception wouldn't have allowed him to see the opportunity. He worked at Essex Lumber Yard. He moved lumber around all day. He made less than $300 a week. So for him to hear someone say, you're going to look at these things on the chart and it's going to be able to predict where price is going to go, he's going to say that's gambling. And don't do that. Don't do that. And because I was very much in obedience to him, whatever he said, I listened to. I stayed in the shouting distance. If I was too far out of sight, he called for me, I'd run. Whatever I was doing with my friends, I had to come home. So I know for certain he would have had every influence over me, and I probably never would have had this pathway in my life. It wouldn't have happened. Even with having my uncle when I was 13 and 14 years old, at Sunday dinners at my grandmother's, and he would always talk about it. All thing. It was like a broken record, man. Like you think I repeat myself all the time. It was always the same thing. He couldn't leave without saying, get yourself a good job, be an electronic technician like he was for Westinghouse, which doesn't exist anymore. And he was a radar tech. He worked on the radar systems. And he saved his money up and traded. He didn't have anybody telling him don't do it. He was an adult when he did it, out on his own. But my uncle was talking to me, and when my grandfather was gone, and I wanted to see, I was like, this is the same stuff my uncle talked about. Like everything, I could see how everything was moved around perfectly. And because of this is why I tell you, and if you let parents hear this portion of my talks, they're going to be looking at you and say, this guy's shady. Don't listen to him. But let me remind you, you didn't pay me. I'm not holding you hostage. I don't ask for anything except for you to have an honest effort and look at the stuff I'm teaching. And either you see it in the price action and it inspires you to continue, or you don't, just go do something else, or don't even touch it. It's simple. It costs nothing to do that much. But for the folks that come, and I understand because I see friends, I grew up with friends that had both parents. I didn't have that. And I can imagine, I say I understand, but I really don't understand, but I can imagine how it's very important for you to tell your parents and say, look at me, I'm getting ready to do something. And if I succeed, this is going to be amazing. And you're going to be proud of me, or you should be proud of me. And I'm going to tell you, as a parent, looking back, if my kids try to tell me silly stuff, like they want to buy those Pokemon cards, okay? And I'm like, Caleb, you literally had like every Pokemon card, and we moved, and it was gone. So who knows where those cards are at, how much they're worth? But he had everything. He had everything in Pokemon. So, but now he wants to invest more money in it. When he makes money, he wants to buy more of them. And I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that. So the dad in me is going to talk him out of it. And I might be wrong. Maybe this stuff's going to go crazy. But when when you're pursuing this and you want to go into trading and you feel that inclination to tell your mom and your dad or your spouse, don't. Don't. Because number one, unless they're doing exceptionally well in life, they're not going to see it like you think you're striving for success with it. They're not going to agree with it. Just like most people, when you talk about the lottery, oh, nobody's going to win the lottery. Don't waste your money on that. So they're going to give you every reason based on their comfort. And because you're their child or you're their loved one, your significant other, they're going to try to talk you out because they don't want to see you lose and then cause a problem where they got to nurture you back to a sound mind and out of depression, because it's going to come if you lose money. So telling your parents and telling your loved ones what you're going to do, telling your coworkers what you're going to do is mistake number one. It's number one, because they're not going to see it like you are. And then what you're going to do is you're going to spend more time trying to sell the idea to them than instead of studying and doing better, learning how to be a better trader, learning to be a better analyst, better tape reader. So I don't think it's a good decision to tell anybody what you're doing. And here's the thing. You can say, as a dad, I can hear myself say that and say, well, this sounds a little shady because, who's going to care more about my kid, you, ICT, or me as his father or mother? Well, clearly you are. You're going to feed them. If you're outdoors, they're going to take you in the house. You're not coming in my house. You're not staying here. I got a lot of rooms, but you ain't sleeping in my house. So if we have a decision to make whether or not if you're going to pursue this and tell your parents or your loved ones or not, by not doing it, here's the benefit. Okay? The benefits outweigh everything because the negatives are the same. Whether you tell them or not, and you take a loss and you lose money, you lost money. They're not going to give you money back. They're not going to help you out and give you some money. But if you don't tell them, guess what that does? It frees your mind of having to perform to a measure of making them see it your way. If you don't go into that exchange with, now I told them this is what I'm learning, and now they're going to hold you accountable because they love you and they don't want to see you mess around and screw up and get taken or scammed. And that's honorable. That's how I feel about my kids. But there's no harm to you if you're not using real money, because that's exactly what I tell you not to do. Don't use real money. Learn how to read price action. Don't be in a rush to go out there and try to make money. That's where you're going to make a mistake. You're going to think you're ready before you are. When you are ready, when you aren't passionate about and you can't sleep about it, I'm going to open up an account. When you just simply know, I've been doing this so long now. It works in my favor more times than it doesn't. When I don't do it right, I don't lose my edge. I don't lose my mind over it. It's realistic. It's going to happen sometimes. I'm going to lose. Okay, great. But you don't have to share those decisions with everybody else because this company that you're building, you're a sole proprietorship. You don't have people on the board. Your parents are not part of the board. They're not board members. If you're an adult, they're not part of your company. They're not. But we feel, the human aspect of us, we want to bring everybody in. Like it's a kumbaya, come to Jesus, come around the fire and let's roast marshmallows together. And that's not how it works. They're going to be like, what are you trying to do with the fire? Why are you putting that in there? You're going to burn yourself if you put that in your mouth. They're going to give you every reason why you don't eat a s'mores. Don't do this. When it's cheating you out of a wonderful experience. Every day isn't trading for someone that's new, just like a s'more shouldn't be consumed every single day. It's not a steady diet. But ain't nothing wrong with having it once in a while. It ain't going to kill you. It's not great for you, but it's pleasurable. Trading needs to be guarded. That's why you don't owe these jackasses on the internet, show me your P&L, show me your statements, show me your this and show me that. Go look at rips. Seriously, this guy is literally showing his AMP account, logging in, showing you what his P&L is, okay? And he still gets flack. He has people still coming at him. Why? Because that's the way nature is. People can't accept stuff. So that's why I've never felt inclined to do it. I don't have to do those things to prove it works. And my money's not your money. Your passion, your direction in this, your choice to even do it is nobody else's business. And that includes your spouse. because you're not risking the money that you both have as a corporate entity that is marriage. You're not risking the money. So what you do as a hobby, in their eyes, they don't know what you're doing looking at these things. Oh, if they ask you, look over your shoulder. What are you looking at? What are you thinking? Oh, just looking at these charts, trying to figure out what these guys are on the internet talking about and see if there's anything to it. Oh, that's it. Just you completely diffused it all. But then turn that situation around and say, "Oh, I'm glad you asked, honey. I'm glad you asked. This is how we're going to buy our vacation home." And I figured, you know what? Instead of putting little Timmy into college, I'm going to take some of that money and I'm going to put it into an account. And I can multiply this because this video here says if I get 6% a month, I can make 100% return. So you figure between now and when Timmy needs to go to college, man, we got it licked. We could be retired. We could buy Timmy a home. He don't even go to college anymore. Everything's sorted. Can you imagine how that conversation is going to go? Totally different. So you have to manage people around you. And unfortunately, life doesn't give us an instruction manual on how to do that. So listening to people that are successful, listening to people that have gone through it and learned the hard way. When we say things like this, it's a little hard to take if the family element is in earshot and they hear what you're saying, because it sounds like, oh, you're getting ready to get scammed. But you got to remind yourself, you're not paying money to me. You're not paying for anything. You're not putting money into an account. You're learning how to read price action. It's no difference than you simply watching these goofballs in the Sundays, or is it Mondays? I don't know when they play football. But they dress up in their little tights, run around chasing a dead pig scheme and overpaid doing it. You're playing a fantasy. You believe you're on that team somehow, like you know the quarterback. So you have an investment emotionally with these people. And sometimes you're betting on it. Why? Because you've watched them play enough times against a team, retail, that they're going to beat. So then you feel inclined to, I'm going to place a bet on it. Why? Because you see the diametrically opposed arm wrestling match between a better team and a weaker team. And that's all trading is. You're looking at price action. Where is it at right now? Should it stay where it's at, or should it continue? If it is going to continue, who's it going to go after next? Boom, next liquidity. And all you're doing is you're looking at price action just like that. That's the opportunity. What time frame? That's your decision. What entry model? That's your decision. What liquidity? Whatever's on the chart and you observed at the time. But your skill set and your observation isn't going to be so astute as it would be if you spend more time while not being plagued and vexed by your significant other. I can tell you something right now. I love my wife. I love her to death. But I can tell you, if I was learning and I was married to this woman, I would never have been in ICT. I would have never been in ICT. She literally, still today, she still thinks it's a video game. Doesn't matter how much money I'm bringing. It doesn't make a difference. Because to her, it doesn't make any sense. So therefore, it's a video game. So I'm telling you these things because I want you to know that by bringing your personal life as a trader in development to other people and allowing them to give input when they have no understanding what you're doing, they're not even motivated to pursue the interest into seeing what it could bring you. Even though you love them, even though they raised you, what is their opinion about what you're learning, which you don't even know about yet? What are they going to bring to the conversation that's usable information, useful? What insight are they bringing? They're bringing an opinion from the outside looking in. They have no idea what it is that we do here. They don't even know how we talk. They don't even know how, like Kit said, it's gonna sound like another language. Well, it is another language, but it's gonna sound like calculus. And maybe they didn't go that far in math. Maybe they did and forgot. I don't know. But the point is this. Bringing other people in is not the same thing as I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to start losing some weight and get exercising and get healthier. Oh, good. That's good for you. I hope you continue. What's your goal? So what weight you want to go for? Oh, I want to lose about 20 pounds. That's good, man. They're not going to nag you the next time they see you. Oh, look at you, buddy. Don't you say you're going to lose 20 pounds? I don't see 20 pounds off of you. They're not doing that. They'll see it and observe. They won't say nothing. But you talk about how you're going to make money. Well, now you're talking about doing something they never had an opportunity to even pursue it because life doesn't teach these things. They don't do it. Rich plans, rich people ideas. They don't teach that. They don't teach it. And they surely don't get people teaching it for free, improving it every single day. Here's the science behind it. This is what I'm doing. This is how I'm using it. It's all there. It's the same stuff every single day. So, in one point, and to conclude with it, my advice, and this is just simply my own opinion, if I were brand new, I wouldn't tell anybody what you're pursuing. Treat it as a hobby in the beginning. Loosely look into it with no expectation on your part. Don't hold yourself to something. Just say, let me see what this looks like if I spend a little bit of time studying it. And let the information present the evidence that helps you motivate yourself going forward.
I love that. And I just want to build on what you're saying quickly. And that's essentially, if you're going to come to the table, really focus on being a student. And instead of incorporating all of these other people into what is quote unquote trading, and you're looking at trading and being someone that's in the market as a trader, really just approach this as an academic study, as an opportunity to do research and development. That research and development ends up being on yourself in a broader aspect, but in a more finite term with, folks that are peeking over your shoulder left and right. You can just, I mean, if you're not putting capital at risk, you're just studying. And being a student is okay. And allowing the time and effort that it takes to be a student is also okay. So I just wanted to add that. I think it builds on what you're saying, Michael. So
Certainly.
we got real Marco, real Marcel FX. Good
Yeah,
evening,
good
buddy.
evening. Good evening, Michael. Yeah, based on what Michael thought, I'm talking about my own situation now on ground. Like, my parents, they trained me in school down to university. I just graduated this year, and they have high hopes on me. Reasons are I am their only male child, and here in my country, Nigeria, we have a running business. We have a family business, and I am supposed to take over from them. It's my dad running the family business. And growing up, I started the family business right from small. I had passion for it. Growing up, I'm doing the family business and everything. Then all of a sudden, when I heard of ICT and trading, I had passion for trading before I heard of ICT. Then when I heard of ICT was 2020, 2021, thereabout in school. So I started learning, and I didn't have time actually to learn. Then when I traded with Ray Money 2022 and lost them, somebody really showed me how to use ICT. Then I started learning from them, and now I'm a graduate and I'm at home. I'm at my parents' house right now as in Nigeria as a young man, and everybody's just looking at me. Everybody, I'm having so many people at my shoulders. I want to be in the business. This is business that I'm supposed to take over. I have my siblings, which are my sisters. They are there. They are going there, but I don't have the passion for it. This is something I have passion for. I wake up 3 a.m., start studying, doing other things and everything. So it's more like I have pressure on me, a lot of pressure on me, and that is not really happy with me choosing my own career. Even if he says we've deliberated on it at home, even if he says okay, it's okay, do like I can see that he's angry every now and then. He's angry every now and then. Mom is like, yo, why can't you like I just feel like moving out from here. I don't have the resources to move out from here. And another thing is some weeks ago, this is early this week, it should be on okay, last month, ending of last month. Dad actually gave me some money to start up something for myself via trading. And I have this pressure on my body like a lot. And couple up with things, I actually lost my in-laws money, which is about $4,000. That was last year. And my sister, my younger sister, which is she's married, like the whole pressure, they're like, I'll start paying it from next year and everything. Like everything is just eating me up. I'm just trying to stay put. I'm trying to do what I have to do. I'm just confused. I have a lot on my shoulder. Seriously.
Well, I can tell you this. You're very fortunate by having a family business, and you're fortunate for having parents that want to let you run the company. And it doesn't matter. It does not matter if you enjoy running the business. You're actually doing a service for not only yourself but your family, and you're honoring your parents by doing what they want. They're trusting you with their company. They're trusting you with that. So I have a lot of entrepreneurs that run businesses. They hate the business, but it's profitable. So it doesn't make sense for them to just throw it away because it's guaranteed income. And by you having that as a plus, there's nothing you doing that business isn't going to keep you from trading. If you know how to trade, that doesn't keep you from being a trader. And jumping out of that sure thing of a business that's gainfully profitable, and it's giving your mother and father, who I'm sure are getting older, they want to be comforted, and they want to see you honor them as your parents because they probably worked very hard to get that in place, and now they're trusting you to run it. And that doesn't find its way in many people's hands like that. And I don't think that it's all that wise for you to be in a hurry to leave that, because that is security. That's a very secure place to be in. You have the support of your parents, and they understand the business, so they're not going to nag you when it's the business. If they do, then you got to find a way to communicate with them. But as far as being a trader while doing that, there's nothing impeding you from being a trader doing it. The second bit of business I'll tell you, it sounded like you started learning about trading in 2022. Did I hear you correctly?
Michael.
Yes, 21, 22.
Okay. If you haven't been profitable for a number of years and each year making more money, you really had no business taking anybody else's money under your wing to manage it or try to do anything with it. And I understand what it feels like, because as a young man, I tried to get all my friends in it too. And one of my aunts asked what I was doing, how I was affording everything. And I got her into trading. And she opened up an account, and I said, okay, we're going to put a trade on. And the first trade we went out the door with, it was a loss. And she got a piece of mail that came in a day later. And we were in another trade that was profitable. She doesn't know this, but she sees the statement and says there's $1,500 less in the account. So she got on the phone for a long period of time trying to get on the phone with somebody. Eventually got to her trading desk and told them, I want my money. He goes, well, do you want me to close the trade I'm in right now? Or you're in right now? And she goes, what? I'm in a trade? Yeah. Yeah, get me out of everything. I want all my money. So she sent them money, had all of her money wired to her, and she freaked out because she can't take a loss. She couldn't take a loss. She got out of the trade before I would have made another $7,000 that day. So I know what it's like to feel like you want to help everybody, but you really can't. Like you really can't. And it's a good nature to have that you want to do that for other people, but you have to know what you're doing. And when you start bringing other people's money into it, they're not going to be so comfortable. Whereas if it was your money, yeah, you could take a loss or two, you could draw down, but they're not going to be comfortable.
Michael, I got scammed. Hello, it's not, sorry for cutting you short. I didn't use the money to trade. I got scammed via Bybit. I was trying to sell off the coin, then I got scammed. And that is, by the way, about the family business. I've been in the family business for a very long time, and trying to, yeah, I like, let me tell you how difficult it is. In the morning, you wake up by 7 a.m. and you have to be there. You have to take inventories, the warehouse, and everything. Then most at times you come back 9 p.m. at night. Sometimes the boss, which is my dad, will be home. Me and his boys will have to come back 9 p.m., sometimes 10 p.m. And when you are back at home, like, you're very tired, and your body is aching, and this is not something I would love doing. Like, okay, I've said, okay, Dad, this is how I can be able to make this business better. This is how I can be able to make it easier for you. He's even complaining. He has a warehouse. He has 3 shops. Um, but this is how I can be able to do these things so that it will be more easier for you. My dad is a stubborn person. Sorry to say. I've tried and tried. I've tried communicating with him. Like everything is just
Well, I can say this: I don't have all the answers for it, but what you described, you're going in, and you must be there at 7 o'clock. That sounds like 7 to 9 pre-market sessions to me. You got to take inventory. You got to. It sounds like you're going through the price charts looking for PDA rates. What do you got to work with today? What do I have on hand right now? That sounds like trading to me. And then you said I got to come back at 9 o'clock. That sounds like somebody's trading Asia too. And when you start making money, guess what you're going to start doing? You're going to be working all the time. You're going to be wanting to get up in the morning and trade London. You're going to be worrying about trading Asia. You're going to be trading the PM session in New York. You're going to trade the afternoon session, closing, AM session. You're going to be doing all the things. You're going to be doing all that because you see the opportunities there. And you're going to be tired there. But the difference is you're motivated because it's something you want to do. So the way you manage yourself, because you're helping your family, you're helping yourself, you don't realize it, is to find a way to make trading fit with what you got going on right now. You have obligations to your family. You have obligations. Your parents have trusted you to do this, and obviously, does the business make money?
yes, we do.
Okay, well that's almost a guaranteed income. You trading with whatever experience you have, that's not guaranteed. There's no guarantee the next trade I'm going to take is going to pan out. There's no guarantee to that. But when you're running a business, chances are you're probably going to have revenue coming in at the end of the week that you're going to eat on. But when you're so passionate about I got to get out of this, this is not what I want to do, and not look at it from the perspective as a family member and as a son to your parents who put you in that situation and trusted you with that, you should be appreciative, number one, because they love you and they gave you that responsibility. They didn't give it to everybody, they gave it to you. And sometimes we think of it as a punishment, and it's really not a punishment. It's an honor for you to be able to do what you're doing. And to feel uncomfortable while doing it, that just means that you're uncomfortable because you're not doing what you want to do in addition to doing what you're doing. And it can be accomplished, but you have to spend more time figuring out how you're going to make it work within the scope of what is being demanded of you with your parents' business and how you're running it and your place in it.
Thank you
You're
very
very
much.
welcome.
Wow, that was powerful. Marcel, Marcel,
Yeah, kid.
what when what time frames are you what are you trading right now? What your real life conflicts versus being able to maybe come to the chart at a different time where there would be fewer conflicts. Is that achievable?
No, not achievable.
It's not achievable. So for you to be in your family business, it means you cannot be a trader, is what you're saying.
Precisely.
Well, then it sounds like a swing trader then. You can never not be a trader, mate. It's just you have to look at the type of trader that you would want to be, right? Because the charts never go away. You're
Yeah.
going to see what you see in the charts. So could you potentially see yourself becoming a swing trader doing what you're doing?
Doing what I'm doing.
Well, doing what you're
Say,
doing, working for your
explain this.
family's business, which is a priority, right? I mean, you're
Yes,
not trying to
the
you're not
priority.
trying to shirk that responsibility, right?
If I can cut in just for a second, what
To be honest,
what markets are you trying to trade?
I'm trading NQ right now, and I'm always trading New York session, which is 1 p.m.
That
Nigeria
was that
time,
was going to
West
be my next
Africa
question.
time.
What time is 9:30 Eastern time in New York. What time is it in your local time?
What that is 9:30, which is 2:30 p.m.
Okay. So here's what you have to do. Okay. A working class hero model. That means you're going to trade with the smallest of leverage. The smallest of leverage. That's just like whatever the smallest there is, that's what you're going to be using. You're going to wait for your analysis to tell you that you think the market's going to go higher on a daily chart, and you're aiming for a previous high or a previous low relative to being bullish or bearish. If you're bullish, you're looking for an old high. It could be yesterday's high. It could be last week's, low, something to that effect, but it's something higher than where we're at right now. And what's right now? At 9:30, it only takes a second. I don't care what business you're running. I don't care. Your father and mother could be over top of your shoulder. You can go on your phone, pull up and see what the opening price at 9:30. If you're bullish, okay, if you're bullish, you're going to look at that price and wait a couple minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, to see if price goes below it. If it does, you put a buy limit or a buy stop 5 handles above the 9:30 opening price. And then if you get an alert on your phone that it fills, yes, you're going to be. You there?
Yes.
Like somebody dropped off.
Yes,
The
okay.
You'll wait
Good.
for an alert on your broker telling you got filled, and then you put the stop at the low of the day, intraday, and you just let it cook. If you're right on your analysis on the intraday, you're buying strength after it's already dropped down. That 9:30 opening price is going to afford you that luxury of having one micro or the equivalent of it, and then you're going to treat it just like that, and you're going to hold the entirety of the day. I don't care what Trump tweets. You're not going to get wrecked on one micro. You're not going to do it. If you are, you're not capitalized enough to trade, and that may be something also. There's a factor there. I don't know, but um, that's the approach I tell everybody when they come to me. I had charter members coming to me all the time. Look, I'm running a business. I'm a university student. I have a 9 to 5. I can't afford to leave my job yet. And what would you do if I can't be in front of the charts all day long? I said, do you have a phone? Yes. Okay. 9:30 opening price. If you're bullish, get the opening price. Wait for 5 to 10 minutes. See if the price is below it. If it does, go below it. Then put a 5 handle buy stop above the opening price, and then simply wait for the fill, and then go in and put a stop loss right below the low of the day, and let it go. If it stops you out, that's a loss. You'll do it again tomorrow the same way. That's all you have left. If what you're describing is how you have to deal with it, then you're just dealing with it like everybody else does in the United States too. They have a job. They can't be in front of intraday charting, so therefore they think it's impossible to make money or take trades. It's not true. You're just going to have to scale down your leverage and participate on a market where you have the luxury of not having to babysit every minor fluctuation intraday.
Thank you very
You're
much,
very welcome.
Michael. That's very
Thank you so
insightful.
much.
Thank you.
So you think that helps, Marcel?
Yes, that helps. It really helps a lot. That is what I will look towards. And I've been trying some stuffs like that, and the difference is more like I'll be looking at the charts maybe around 12 p.m., which is 7 a.m. EST, and maybe 8 8 a.m. EST, which is 1 p.m. and the whole situation. And that is it just it's when when he comes to me or he's at my back or on my phone looking at the chart, he just hits it. Like it irritates him. So that's just it.
Your dad gets really pissed if he sees you trading on your phone, doesn't he?
Do what I did. Always excuse yourself to the bathroom
Yes.
at 9:30. At 9:30, he's not in the stall with you. If he is, he's gonna have to have a conversation with Dad.
You gotta take long shit breaks, buddy. Right around 9:30. I'll be back. It's just the volatility at 9:30. You never know. You can make it work. Pippi's got his hand up. What's up, buddy? Pippi Banks.
Hey, what's up, guys? How we doing?
Excellent. How about yourself, buddy?
Chilling, chilling. I'll make this real quick. I've been trying to ask this question for the past couple roundups, so I'll make it real quick. Um, in regards of macros, right? We talk about macros, but Michael, specifically, you say the last hour of trading has 4 macros, right? And I've been trying to figure it out, right? What's the fourth one? Because I see that we have, obviously you went over 3 of them a lot, right? Which would be the 250 to 310. It would be the 315 to the 345, and then the market on close, the 350 to the 410, right? Now, what am I missing? Is the whole last hour just one complete macro, that 3 to 4, or are you looking at something more specific like the bond market actually closing at 3 o'clock, and you're using that as a macro, being that the bond market basically moves everything.
Well,
So I'm just
that's
trying to
incorporated.
get some clarification on that.
Yeah, that's incorporated with the sorry, the 350 to 410 macro. Or let me say it right. 250, 310 macro. So bond closure is incorporated in that. But if you don't get a reaction or a run based on that bond close, then we're looking at 15 minutes after 3 to 3:45. So that's that 30-minute window. We're looking for something to set up for a run on liquidity. If nothing materializes there, you're looking at the last 20 minutes. Okay, so it's 3:40 to top of the hour at close. If nothing's moving in the 3:40 to 3:50, then you know the last 10 minutes is going to be murder on close, and all the moves going to be right there. So there's your 4 macros.
Okay, so you're looking at the 40 to the close, basically. That last.
Yeah, that's the only one you didn't mention, but that's it.
Yes. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you for the clarification.
Ooh, saucy, saucy conversation right there.
It's a matter of progression, though. That's the main thing about it, because it could all start at the 250 to 310 macro and just start running right from there. And if it's like a rush to get all the book done for one day in that last bit of time, it could start then. But if nothing really starts to materialize in that 20-minute window, last 10 minutes of 2 o'clock to 3, and the first 10 minutes of 3 o'clock, then you're really hawking it between 3:15, 3:45. Usually there's something that's really setting up sweet in that 30-minute window, and then it runs for it during the last 20 minutes.
That's the 315 to 345. That impulse you taught in past lectures, in past conversations, in some of the nuanced lectures of your compendium, and that was definitely one that I grabbed and I held on to as a trader. And I highly suggest that traders grab and hold on to that one as well. There's just a lot in that 15 to 1545. Another one you gave, Michael, that I don't think enough people pay attention to is the 1310 to 1340, right? So these are just like macros that you taught in past lectures that people don't recall, or I don't know. I just know as your student that if anyone were ever to cite or reference these things, it's like, well, yeah, it's because Michael's already taught that.
I don't want to say it's a catch-all. It's technically not a catch-all, but what's going to run out the last portions of the day in regular trading hours is going to set up between 3:15 to 3:45 most times. And if it doesn't have anything in play or set up by 3:45, you're in that 40 to top of the hour 20-minute window. And if nothing happens between 40 and 50, you know what's about to happen in the last 10 minutes. It's all going to be a flurry rushing to the high or the low that's now formed or has left it, let's say it that way. So it's a matter of like a countdown. How big and how fast is the move going to be? The earlier it starts to set up, if it's 250 to 310, then it's going to be a more prolonged, all the way drawn out to the close. It's going to just keep on going. You ever have a day where you just like, there's no way it can't just keep going. It just keeps going higher and higher and higher, or it drops, it keeps lower, lower, lower. Those generally start between the 250 and 310 macro. But most times, like 80% of the time, you're going to see 315 to 345 p.m. The macro that's setting up for the run going into the close, the framework that it's going to use is found inside that 30-minute window. Quarter past 3 o'clock to quarter of 4. But if it doesn't really materialize yet, you're already in that last 20-minute window. So what it does is it kind of like supercharges the last 10 minutes. Whatever you're going to get in 10 minutes, it's going to be real fast, it's going to be sudden, and you only get one opportunity to do it. Whereas you have probably a couple different chances to do something if it's the 250, the 310 macro, or 315 to 345.
So one kind of cascades in one direction and then the other one takes it out. That's kind of what I heard you say.
Yeah, if there's nothing materializing by 50, 350, then you know it's
Yeah.
going to be a real quick flash in the pan, boom, 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 it's done. Real quick, sudden, there it is. But if it starts running off of the framework that's in the macro at 250, 310, then it can be a sustained price run that just keeps on running into. And then what will happen is the last blow off of the move, which has already been just really running anyway, the entire final hour of trading, 3 to 4. So it's a measurement of what you're expecting to see. Where's your draw? You're looking for that the entire time. And it may not be so clear to you. It may not be obvious to you. But the more time you dig into that final hour, it's saving really the best for last. That's what it's doing. And it's going to target somebody that needs it. They need a humbling. So it's a little bit. Yeah, it requires obviously it's not an everyday thing that you're going to see always do this. But the way I just outlined it, that's what I'm doing every day if I'm looking at the last hour.
That's a great schematic the way you described it. And Pippi, great question. Charter always reaching for advanced concepts, looking for chapters, layers to this. Like Pippi, every time Michael, you know this, every time Pippi comes, he's coming like charter deep, man. He's not like asking a simple question. So
Yeah,
I know that
yeah.
in the community, I know folks that listen appreciate that. Like there's high fives, like, yeah, that's my boy, Pippi. Yeah. So I'm just saying, I know there's folks that appreciate not every conversation is for the newbie or someone who's brand new to your material. Some folks they're like, well, I've been here for a minute, and it's nice that they get to kind of ask some long time questions or that these things kind of percolate. So I thought that was a great question.
Yeah.
Great question.
I just don't know if it was helpful because he didn't. I don't know if it was helpful in regards to his question, how it maybe brought something
Oh,
to it.
dude, that was a phenomenal answer, Michael. Are you kidding me? You can go back and record that. That was a textbook answer. There's no need to worry. It literally is a textbook answer.
Yeah, you can't get no better than that. It was straight to the point.
Okay.
Like Kit said, the schematic is that's just a guideline to follow,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? Like you're not gonna see the same delivery every single day. Like it's not gonna happen like that. So that schematic to follow is actually a very, very good schematic just to follow as a guideline. And if it doesn't do that, then you kind of
And
know what to do in
and
a
then
way.
that leads you straight into the 1800 Open, which my boy, we talk about working man's trader. Pippi's literally a mechanic in New York. So he's busy literally working on other people's cars, dealing with a lot of crazy stuff during traditional New York hours. So 1800 for him is like 9:30. So he's made it kind of that way for him as his own kind of trader where like, he gets done with work. He gets to, actually see the volatility in 1800. He treats 1800 gold like a NASDAQ trader is treating 930. And I mean, he does very well with it. And it has to do with his lifestyle. Has to do with when he has to pick up his boy. It has to do with him having to work and having to do with his life. So the adaptability of your concepts, Michael, it's beautiful. And oftentimes I see folks that do kind of proudly step away from their teacher commonly find, fruit in one of these commodities, something they know you don't teach. They know that you wouldn't be talking about. And it's exactly because they know you wouldn't teach it that's why they want to find their own on it. Like it's gold is, I think, quite a few ICT concepts traders, folks have found their own on gold in exactly the energy and the spirit that I think you want them to. I really do. I honestly believe gold is that in the community for so many folks.
It doesn't matter what market you're trading. I have lots of students that trade crypto. I would never touch that stuff. But
It,
you bring your skill to what market you want to pursue. And if you know price, price is price. It doesn't matter what vehicle you're using. It's going to be the same open, high, low, close.
and it's nice, just your personality as a mentor is able to compel and convey that message clearly, and the concepts are still greater than just simply the mentor conveying his thoughts or opinions, right? The concepts are the concepts, and they work on gold, and your students again kind of champion their own graduation. I'll call it commonly in Trader Roundup, I would say folks almost refer to gold as like a capstone after they've studied with you and paid so much attention to all of your weekly reviews and your analysis of how you do everything, Michael, within the mentorship, really them stepping out on their own and applying it on their own, them doing it. It's common here, I would say. The capstone for lots of traders is gold in the ICT community.
Independent thought is the goal, and
Yeah.
not being tethered to me is the success and graduation.
Which is cool. Pippi's another great example of it, and that's part of the exactly what you're championing is not being tethered to the mentor, not being required to listen to him. And then again, like you get all of these successful gold traders who are like, yeah, I trade ICT. Yeah, I apply ICT concepts to gold. Yeah, he doesn't use them, whatever, but I've found my success in my models. And again, that's been a common theme and story here. Bo Yoder, breath. Wow. Michael, we've got Bo Yoder here. I don't know if you've heard this or if you heard the last one, but it was a breathing thing, and it was very short and concise and very, very wonderful. And I was hoping, Bo Yoder, we could have a Bo Yoder breath moment and make that kind of a regular thing. But want to reintroduce Bo Yoder to Trader Roundup. Bo Yoder, are you there, friend?
Hey there, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
Good. Michael, nice to meet you. I have followed a similar path. I started trading in 96, 97 and then moved over to futures once the ES sort of, came to be. And done a lot of teaching, a lot of things. I really love your style and your heart. I stopped teaching about 3 or 4 years. Well, no, it's been 5 or 6 years ago now, because of the endless frustration of teaching people something works and could work in their hand, and watching them take it and squander it. And I've seen a couple of your posts where you talk about that. But one of the aspects of this is it puts you into a really interesting, non-ordinary state of consciousness, and you get like an inspiration, a download. And I had a thing that Michael needs this for his kids, and then you posted something about interaction with you had with your son. So I wonder if this might be useful for you. So essentially,
I don't hear anybody. Can you hear me?
Yeah, no, I lost him too. Bo Yoder. I thought it was me. I was like, damn. X is undefeated. B-
He probably got a phone call because he's still a speaker.
oh, really? He fell off on for me. It's a compressionary breathing technique that he does that's very, very good, and very good and applicable to a trader, for a trader. We'll see if we get him back up here. He completely disappeared off of my chart. Unfortunately, Bo Yoda. Oh, there he is. Okay, hold up. Here we go. X is undefeated, boys and girls, ladies and
hey, let's
gentlemen.
try that. I just rebooted.
All
Is
right.
that
Yes,
better?
yes, sir. Power down, power up, my man.
You got it. When in doubt, reboot. So what got through?
I
Not
think
much. Sounds like
you were gonna take us through the breathing technique.
yeah. Okay. So essentially, what happens? The very quick version is in the brain, when you're doing analysis, you're using a part of your brain called the task positive network. It feels good. There's no stress. There's nothing on the line. The minute you enter your position, the devil on your shoulder starts whispering in your ear, and that's coming from what's called the default mode network, which I could argue vehemently is really the core source of all trader failure and certainly most of human suffering. So the simple thing is you can turn it off, and there are a lot of ways to do that. People do it in longer, more ponderous ways with meditation and prayer and repetitive behaviors and on and on and on. But I was able to compress it down into a 5 minute stack, which actually makes it useful for a trader. So essentially, it's like the best drug you never take. You're going to change your brain chemistry on a very biophysical level. And most trading strategies, if at least in my experience, if you take your position, you put your stops in, first 3 to 5 minutes is not going to make or break the trade, right? You're not bringing value at that point. So you can essentially hijack the little devil on your shoulder that's whispering in your ear and bringing all the self-limiting beliefs and all the old scar tissue from life and from what other people say about what you're doing and on and on and turn it off on a neurobiological level. So the quick version is you imagine that you are blowing out birthday candles across the room.
Bo Yoder, we lost you again. Completely gone? Yes. Bo Yoda. Come on back here, buddy.
Hey, kid, I'm going to escape here, and I'll catch whatever he brings to it in the recording, okay?
All right, sounds great.
Have a good day.
Yes, have a great one, brother. We're gonna wrap up here too. We'll get. Don't want to be rude. I want to do this, and it's really good. I really do like the breathing technique. It's wonderful. And it's just there he is. Here, come on, Bo. Bring us home, buddy.
Doing my
All
best.
right, bring us home,
Darn
Bobby.
IP. Okay, so we start off puffing and huffing. You want pressure in your chest. You want to blow out like you're blowing out birthday candles. After you do that about 16 breaths, then you're going to transfer to a big inhale, stretching the lungs, get as much air in as you can. You're going to do that twice, and then you're going to hold your breath. So here we go. I'm going to give you a cadence. This is going to be the puffing breath. We go. Puff. Hard out. Really push. Now switch to inhale. Relax out. In. Two more. Last one. Back to puff. Dizzy, tingly, all good. Deep breath in. Last deep breath in and hold. Hold, hold, hold. Deep breath in. Feel that head rush. Feel the sense of dropping. A little bit of a sweat, tingling, all good things that are happening in your blood chemistry. Now's the time to go into affirmations, into prayer. Start with gratitude. Ask for the things that you need to be alerted on that you might have learned today if you traded. What could you have done better? What things did you miss? It's just a quiet time to kind of go into that silence and see what pops out. And hold as long as comfortable. There's no hero game here. Longer isn't necessarily better. You'll feel the hormones hitting in. Nice feeling of euphoria, calm. Hold as long as is comfortable. When you're done, breathe out, take a deep breath in, hold it for 5 or 10 seconds, and then go back to normal breathing. So probably most people are tapping out. Big breath out, big breath in, and then you're done. Do that 2 or 3 times in a row. It'll stack the effect. But you saw that was, I don't know what, 90 seconds, 2 minutes. doesn't interrupt your trading. If you do that, anytime you feel anxiety, stress, or overwhelm within your trading process, do I add? Do I partial? Do I trail? Anytime there's a decision point that you're kind of, wrangling with yourself,
I
just
love
pop off a
that.
quick breath, come back to center, open your eyes, look at your charts. You'll be amazed at how different your
I
perspective
hope
is.
folks actually do it and they don't just go through the motion and you actually go through the effort of the compressed breath, because it is really it's a wild way to kind of recenter, and as a trader recentering is important, and it's a keen, it's a biohack, bro. It's very cool. I like it a lot.
It's neurobiology.
Yeah, it is.
But
It
it
is.
opens a
It is.
channel
It
to the
is.
subconscious,
It
and you can do
is.
with
It
that
is.
a
It
lot of
is
different things.
neurological. It is. It is.
Yeah, and you'd be amazed. You take a trade you think was the best thing ever, and you huff and puff. You come back and you go, "Whoa, whoa, wait a minute! My stop's in the wrong place." Or, this is a trade where I should put my target over here instead of over there. Or you'll just come back and say, "Yeah, this was good. I'm good. I'm at peace. Let's see what happens." The reset can be very valuable, and my strong belief from all my experiences that the technicals don't matter because nobody can execute. And so this is a tool that can help people execute a plan consistently without introducing human error. And once you win that battle, then you can start working on whatever approach that you think is valid, that works for you, and your availability and anything else. So brain first, then work on your skills, until you have that calm peace and serenity that you have when you're paper trading while you're live trading, then you really probably shouldn't be live trading. And this will get you there faster.
Well said, mate. I love it. 3:33. I like the time. I think we're gonna leave it here. I think that was a really, really nice way to wrap up what we did for anyone who participated. So do we call it a huff and puff? Is that what we call it? Bo Yoder? Is that a huff and puff? I mean, I'm at well, he Wolf is here. We're gonna wrap up here. I wanna end with Wolf Tribe. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm good, bro. I had a question though for Michael,
Okay.
but I
Okay.
missed it. So
That's okay. Well, again, we'll come around on on the flip side. It'll be good. It'll be fun. It'll be great. And I thought today was awesome. I enjoyed it. Um, really good combo, and it was really nice day and way to enjoy time in the market. So we'll leave it here. I hope you go back if you found value. Pretty please hit the share, hit the retweet button, and yeah, we'll see you guys on the flip side. Tomorrow is it's Friday, so we'll see you on Trader Roundup tomorrow. Again, if you don't mind, give us a retweet and a share, and have a great one. Peace.